Fucking COVID ain't no joke. Have you had it yet?
You talking to me? I know it always feels like a while, doesn't it? It's difficult, man. It's difficult. But if I ever get time off like this, I try to be here. Yeah. Been a while. I got Defense Splatoon 3 as well, because that game is just like perfection, man, perfection. Let's go.
Hearing.
Can you hear me? That's the most important thing. All right, welcome to the Clock Cast, people. So, yeah, we're going to talk about Splatoon 3.
All right.
And, it's just, oh, shit, he's back. Never mind.
Fucking OBS and Discord both reset my mic, so...
Why is this shit not connecting? What the fuck?
Yeah, anyway, I was just saying hi to Clocked It, because he hadn't been on in a little bit, and Robert's nowhere to be found, and Terrell's here, but he's not, so... and T's back from COVID. He had a date with Rona.
And Rona, man.
It's a trash date as well. Trash date.
But yeah, so last week I was optimistic at the start of the podcast. I was optimistic for the Splatoon 3 Direct because it was 30 minutes long, and then as the podcast went on, we looked at the Splatoon 2 Direct, which was like 27 minutes long, and I was like, oh shit, my excitement kind of died. But I was still slightly optimistic. We'll talk about that. T was holding up Horizon. I don't know if that was before or after we went live, but I finished that on Saturday and logged at that point at 81 hours, but I played another 2 hours. I was trying to see what I got, like 9 trophies left, and I was trying to see what one was going to take. And it's like, if anybody played God of War, it's like the queen of the
Valkyries.
The Valkyries. It's just the most impossible fight. This old granny lady she's so fast. She can counter all your attacks if you don't. And it's like I got down to half health once. The rest of the time, maybe 25% of her health gone. And I'm just like, fuck this. I don't need a platinum trophy. So at the end, I was just under 83 hours, like 82 hours, 40 minutes or something. And so I rinsed the game, as Clocked It might say. No need to do a new game plus.
I'm glad that I spread that, across the globe.
Definitely
rinse that shit.
I did all the side quests. I have a few outposts that I could take. Rebel outpost, I think that's a trophy. And I really thoroughly explored the map, and it's a really good game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It ends with a cliffhanger, if you will. If it was a season of a show,
Another one?
if it was a season of a
make
show,
another Horizon.
I would think they're setting up the next season. I'm hoping it's just DLC, because it's it's not like it's going to change where the game world you're in or anything. So I'm hoping it's going to be DLC. That would be a fine way to do it for me. It's like, I'm not the biggest guy for sequels. I feel like, if they make another one and it's great, that's fine. But, I'm not like, oh my God, I want start the third game immediately. I'm kind of like, yeah, that was a really good game, and give me some DLC and I'm good. So other than that, I also surprise. I'm on the Bionis' knee currently, right before Colony 6. I played another probably 6 hours all in handheld mode, except for maybe the last hour. And I'm gonna keep playing. I'm not gonna start 3 until I finish the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
Climbing up that body.
I learned from my first playtime. I'm already at level 20, and I haven't even got to the first like boss fight that uses the future mechanic with like I think it has a bunch of tentacle arms or something. After the kid,
You're not talking about the spider, right?
No, it's it was the first like real big boss that I fought right before Colony 6. After you meet up with Charla and her kid.
Oh, Juju. Or
you're going. I'm going to cross that bridge, and then once I cross the bridge,
I know what you're talking about.
There's a fight, and the first time I was like level 16 when I got there, and I was getting wrecked by the level 20 boss fight.
Yeah, you're kind of like on that platform, aren't you? It's like a circular platform. Yeah.
And I had to go grind to get up to like level 22, which was tedious. I mean, I spent over an hour just respawning and fighting the same enemies over and over and over. Now I'm just doing that in small chunks as I'm moving. I'm fighting every enemy, and I'm already at level 20, so I'm gonna just play it a little smarter, not kind of.
Have to put that shit on easy mode.
Yeah, because I was used to X, where I could every time I got to a boss, I was over leveled or at the same level, and I was winning. I was beating them fairly, it maybe took an extra try, but this was like 10 deaths in a row, and I wasn't even getting barely any damage done. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I will say, unlike Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I think the Definitive Edition looks really good in handheld mode. And when I put it back on the TV, I'm like, so I think I'm going to lean more towards the handheld mode for that. And it's a good, like, that's my favorite thing about that combat system is I can, like, with the X and 2, I can have a football game on or something else on, and I can just, I can engage in combat. I don't feel like I constantly have to be staring at the screen. It's very good, I feel, combat system for handheld and, off TV, if you will, with the Wii U, so... I got sucked back in though. I gotta say I'm enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to scratching off the backlog list.
Loving that new Shana model. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
God damn.
Why did they have to kill Fiora though? Like, why? Like,
yeah, why?
Because life isn't fair.
Yeah, life is hard, man.
I pulled a Robert. I had her in her skivvies. I didn't have Shulk yet. I didn't put Shulk in shirtless or anything, but it was right before I was like, well, she's about to die, so at least put her in something that looks good. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to diving into that even more so than like I started Jedi Fallen Order. I did the first little section, and then I got to the spot T on the train where you left on Steam Deck forever. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn on the Switch. I'm going to play Xenoblade.
You ran away before you could answer.
He knew better.
Yeah.
He knew the truth.
Like that.
You're about to buzz me out.
Donnie, I started Xenoblade 1 like 2016. I'm finally like...
It's the game he keeps on starting. I know how that feels.
It's weird like how much I remember.
Death, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what's crazy though? I have like the worst recollection of games usually, but like I remember every aspect of everything I've encountered so far. It just feels so fresh in my mind for how long ago it was. So I'm like, it's just kind of weird.
It's goated, that's why. Forget what else is.
What was that about me?
No, I was saying, I still enjoy it.
What was I saying?
About that part where he left on the train.
Oh, and Jedi Fallen Order. You left.
Yeah.
I just got to that spot.
I was on that list for weeks.
I got to that spot and I just saved the game, and I haven't touched it since. It was like a week ago.
What it is about that level? I don't know.
Well, it was late. I was like, let me just start Fallen Order, and because I'd finished Horizon kind of late, and it was like 11 o'clock, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna be sitting through cutscenes. So it was the first time I felt like I could just save and get out of the game.
You're talking about being over leveled and stuff. Is one.
I would ask you what you think.
It's not a problem I have with Xenoblade 3, but like the main story, like where I am at the moment, all the like enemies and bosses are like level 35, and I'm now like level 54.
See,
and it's all because just so many diversions.
Are you using that? Are you using the extra leveling up at the camps?
I've stopped using it.
You have to, dude. I'm
using it.
I'm like 7 levels above, and I'm at like I'm in chapter 4, and I'm already in my early 40s. I'm like, hold up, I think I might.
Don't use it. Just go with the flow of the game.
Unfortunately, it's a dangerous situation where if you want to explore and start doing, especially when you start doing the hero quests, because there's a couple hero quests you can get early that you're actually under level for. And I went ahead and said, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and get her early. And came out, was like, let me go do some main quests with fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just walking through areas because I'm over leveled. Shit.
But luckily you could put the game on hard. And the bosses still turn out to be pretty tough then.
I'm enjoying it. I'm very happy.
You see,
with that playthrough.
Retro Death posted a tweet.
Was it bad?
Just
sorry.
Talking about how good the game looks, and he had a bunch of weird. I don't know if they were Sony, Xbox. I don't know what they were. Not Nintendo haters. One guy was saying that it's so blurry, he can't enjoy it, and that he's waiting for the Switch Pro, which is coming out this year. And I'm like, the dude seemed like he was.
Are we still doing that?
The dude seemed like he was serious. You never know. But
maybe he was. Just,
I haven't heard.
Maybe he was just a shadow. He could have just been a shadow of his former.
Well, Shadow was there, because he's a Xenoblade fan. And,
yeah, I know.
But from what I can tell, the game looks pretty sharp. I don't know.
It looks fucking great. I think the typical replies you're gonna get to that is, when you do have something like Horizon Zero Dawn, where there is immense levels of detail, absolutely everywhere. I think some people will look for that and then consider Xenoblade to be far inferior. But what elevates Xenoblade, just like the other Xenoblade games, is that sense of scale, that sense of scope and just grandeur that few other games truly offer. So when we take these panorama screenshots, you just like, man, just look at this world. It looks.
I've seen somebody jump. Sorry to cut you off. People were complaining about some item placement off a cliff, and the dude jumped off, and there's a bunch of them in a row. He fell for what looked like about 45 seconds to a minute.
Yeah, well,
I couldn't believe the height.
Man.
I couldn't believe the scale of the height.
That's classic. You'll be doing that in Xenoblade 1.
So
yeah, the game constantly rewards you for being like curious and going off the beaten path. Like it's very like, oh, you think you can't get up here, right? Like the one thing that fucked me up, and you'll see it in early Xenoblade 3, you keep seeing these fucking like zip line wires everywhere in the early game, and it was driving me nuts because I'm like, did I miss
those now?
I'm like, can I use these? Because early on you also see the little ones where you can create like this ladder. You can drop down a ladder, meaning you can climb up for higher areas. I'm like, what the fuck do I need to do to use these zip lines? And I'm thinking I'm missing side quests and shit. You finally get to the area where you can use it, and then I'm like, well, fuck, now I want to go back to the early sections of the game and start using all the zip lines. I think they're required for certain quests, because there's a couple quests where I was like, how the fuck do I get over there?
Next thing you know, you're level 50. Be like, shit.
Yeah, I'm starting to be very selective of how much side content I do versus how much main content I do, because I'm liable to fuck around and end up being over leveled. But
some of these side quests, man, they've been some of the most like impactful story-driven moments, just in the game.
Well, and the thing that fucks me up is that it's not like 2 or 1 where a side quest feels like a side quest. I've literally run into situations where I run into the main path and then hit a cutscene and went, oh shit, I guess we're doing this part of the main plot, and then he'd be like, boom, side quest. What?
Yeah.
That's the side quest? What the fuck? Where's the main
Yeah.
plot at? And then you just fall into this rabbit hole where it's like, do this, and then do this, and then you open up a new colony, and then there's like 6 different guys you talk to, which creates like 2 or 3 more quest lines, and I'm like,
But I think
fuck.
what they nailed with this one is that they've managed to make the people you deal with far more involved and impactful. You know, so when you do these side quests, these individual side quests for these characters, their situations, their lives that they're living, because the whole scenario of their lives is just fucked up. And when they have these little moments, it seems to just work. So
Look at
much
the
better.
scale. Look at this. Look at the height of this.
I low-key kind of wish I hadn't just seen it. I'm not gonna lie to you. How were you supposed to know? Is that a secret area? Because I have not been there yet.
I'm
That
sure
is-
you.
I've jumped off somewhere pretty high. I haven't jumped off that location yet.
Spoilers.
Like I can't. That's some serious elevation, man.
That is a new area. 'Cause that's a snowy area. And
Yeah.
I'm on chapter 4. I haven't seen a snowy area.
Okay, so
yet.
you
I don't see any
wait,
snow, but
wait. How far are you in chapter 4?
oh yeah, at the very top there was a little.
Clocked it.
Look at that fall
Holy
though.
crap.
Well, I've just gotten I've just gotten to I don't want to spoil it, man. How do I say this without spoiling?
Have you been in the forest yet?
Yes, I'm out of the forest.
Okay, then all right. You're probably a little bit ahead of me then. Gotcha. We'll leave it at that.
So, just watching that, I will say if even with the DLC for Horizon, one thing I would really like is they just like with Link and Skyward Sword. You have your mount, your flying mount. If anybody, only 30 people watched that clip I posted, but you can jump off and whistle for it, and it'll pick you up in the air. But you can only just jump and fall like you're like. There's no gracefulness to it. There's no elegance to it. You just kind of fall and you whistle and it catches you in the air. Now, if you could jump and kind of skydive, and then when you jump off the flying mount, that would be something that would be really cool. I know it'd just be a visual thing.
See, Skyward Sword done that, but you know, just unfortunately, it would cut to a momentary cutscene where the Loftwing would come in and take you. If that was all done in real time, where you just still falling, that's why I love like. The boss fight with the flying Leviathan. I can't remember the name of the creature, but a whole boss fight where you had to go on the Loftwing, skydive on top of the creature, smack his eyeballs, jump off back onto your Loftwing, fly. Oh, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, they could do something like that. Like, let me jump off, let me pull an avatar, let me recreate, run along something and dive back off and land back on it or something like. That'd be cool.
You just call it and it could just appear. You know, it doesn't need to be flying around. We don't expect that with gamers, you know, but just for it to all happen in real time would be fucking great.
Yeah, so that was just thinking, because you jump off and it's like, it's kind of awkward. You just kind of, all of a sudden you're falling, and then you put your little sailcloth, if you will, the shield thing. They could do a lot better with that. And Xenoblade, you know, it's similar. It's just kind of a standard animation when you're falling. You know, there's no reason to have them skydive or anything, because there's no parachutes but it was just something I noticed. Like, I think more games could add a little something to your falling animation.
There is one thing I wanted to mention in Xenoblade 3. It's a minor thing, but it's something that's becoming increasingly apparent. They added like a bunch of like party/field skills to where once you do certain things, you get certain buffs. So I finally got the buff to my run speed and didn't realize it. I thought all of a sudden, I'm like, did the game just jump up in frame rate or something? Because it was fucking with me. And then I noticed, am I running faster? I had to go check my settings. But oh shit, I forgot. Because I didn't realize you get. I knew you got buffs, but it had been like 20 hours, and I hadn't gotten any buffs to run speed. And I guess I hadn't gone through the effort of trying to figure out what dictates it. But I'm very curious to how fast the game gets once you max out all those like party/field skills to where you can know. And I think they essentially took the idea from 2, but didn't tie it to like a thing you had to arbitrarily like level up. It's more of like, as you progress through the plot,
it happens in the background, like
you just get better at traversal. It's almost like life experience without realizing it. You're just fucking better at things. I I fuck with it a lot because it's a very subtle thing. But it's like, damn, the later game just feels even better than the beginning of the game because it's like it's like traditional RPG progression. You're fucking getting better.
Has anything come out about the length of cutscenes in this game? Has anybody?
My friends have told me that it's pretty notorious, and there are a couple instances where I've noticed it where you'll walk out of a cutscene that's been like 5 minutes, and you'll walk maybe 20 feet. And if you ain't doing anything else, you'll hit another cutscene that's another like 5 minutes. It's pretty lengthy with the cutscenes. I don't know if it's.
I'm just wondering if anybody put all the cinematics together to figure out.
I'm afraid to look because I'm afraid to be spoiled.
Robert, let's look to see if there's a video or just look at the time.
All cutscenes. All right, I'll look because
Yeah, 'cause
I really doubt they're gonna have like a spoiler on the.
I don't know if your microphone's the good mic.
Let me see.
That happened to me. Mine got switched as well.
Based off the amount of cutscenes I've had, and I've loved every single, like major cutscene and many of the smaller ones as well. I think you're talking, hours, man. It's gotta be.
Xenoblade 2 is one of the longest.
Of all time.
Yeah.
I wonder what the file size is for like the digital version of Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Ooh, you want to guess? At least from this.
I'm gonna guess at least 10 hours.
No, it's more than that. I'll say 25.
25? No. It's from what I see from this, at least this the top one says 19 hours. The next one says 13 and a half hours. So
I wonder if they count the little.
I don't know what they count. I don't know what the 19 hours counts, but it seems like 13 hours for sure. 13 hours minimum.
What are you talking about now?
Xenoblade Chronicles.
I want cinematics with voice acting. I don't care about the bubble speech ones.
The problem is that
the 19 hours might include it, but the 13 hours probably not. So let's say you cut out 6 hours.
The biggest problem is that
dialogue bubbles. 6 hours of it.
The problem is that some of the bubble talk actually does have voice acting in it. Not all of it,
really?
but some of it does.
I do love the voice acting, so I found myself I haven't really skipped it. I've been listening to it,
I never skip anything, man, in the game.
I find it's distracting when you have a good story. You have characters that are voice acted well. When it switches to the non-voice acted bubble dialogue, I find that more distracting than the whole game being silent. Like.
Yeah, it's a little jarring.
There's I say 75% through the game on Horizon. There's just some dialogue trees that are they're not really that important. And I just want to know if I'm trying to get trophies and stuff. I thought maybe there'd be a trophy for doing all the dialogue with all the main side characters. And it didn't
Is the dialogue overall better though?
It's infinitely better. That's why I listened to probably 75% of it. Of that stuff, 100% of the main story, the main side quests, all the writing was better. I keep forgetting.
Okay, Horizon was one of the few games I even paid attention during God of War, but Horizon, I think
Horizon was bad. That was
the latter half of it. I just checked the fuck out. I was like, God damn, I've never been this disengaged.
The writing was bad, and the facial animations were bad, and the acting for a lot of the secondary characters was bad.
I hate that the best thing about Horizon 1 is the combat. It's great, and I'm glad it's the best thing, because if it wasn't, I couldn't see justifying a sequel. But God, I've never been that disconnected out of a story. God of War, I was
to see if the writers changed from the first to the second.
I hope they. Well, if they improve,
because it's so much better. Like it's to me, it feels like a completely different team.
And then, actually, speaking of God of War, didn't Sony put up another trailer for that today? I thought I saw something.
I didn't see that.
Oh, for Ragnarok? I didn't.
Yeah, I thought.
Pinged on it.
All right, so remember these names: Ben McCaw, John Gonzalez. Ben McCaw, John Gonzalez. So that's for Zero Dawn.
Okay.
2 male fucking writers writing a female role. Shit.
That sucks.
Oh, it's. Actually, I don't know.
Writer Ben McCaw by himself, so he got rid of the other guy.
The other guy was the problem, man. That's what it was. Been.
Or they just had more time. I'm not sure. It does feel like they hired.
I know what I saw.
New.
They're essentially.
He could have had more time. If you think about it.
It wasn't a new trailer for Ragnarok.
He definitely had more time.
What they did is they got like Felicia Day and some other guy to recap the story of the first game, and that's what I saw. I was like, "What the fuck?" I thought it was a trailer. I was like, damn, this is 7 minutes. This doesn't look right. That was because it's a recap of the first game in like the storybook format.
That's cool.
Yeah, I could use a refresher to be honest, especially if
No, I think you just want to see Felicia Day. That's what that
Nah.
is.
I'd rather see
Who's that?
what's her name in the game.
I heard the name.
You've seen Felicia Day. She used to.
Yeah, I've heard the name. Is that a YouTuber?
She used
was
to
an
voice
actor at
kinda.
first. She
What was
started out as
the,
an
uh,
actor.
What's the web series? That you
She's a
did?
known nerd actor now. She's kind of famous for just
Supernatural.
being a nerd.
Yeah.
She's famous
did
for
like-
being a nerd.
I
Very
want
familiar.
Guilty Gear
Yeah,
Strive.
it was like the Guild. It was like a Guild web series she did for a while. That's how I knew her.
Well, she's been in like
I just remember the
legit
name.
TV shows too.
I actually, well, yes, Supernatural has been in for
She
years.
was
it
in.
looks like.
She was a star. had a
she
main
did a lot of
more
stuff.
of
She
a
did a
main
lot of
role
stuff, but
in
seems like
what the hell is that show in sci-fi? It was really actually a good.
Yeah,
show.
it was just
Eureka.
called the Guild.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, it was just.
any type
the
of
Guild,
Dungeons
kinda.
and Dragons type stuff. She's
Well, she's
usually
in,
like a host.
yeah, she's in Star Wars Detours, a TV series in post production from 2012. I think that's canceled.
Talking about Felicia Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew her. I knew her from the Guild. That's how I found out about her originally.
Hey, T, we were talking about great falling animations earlier. I remember Banjo-Kazooie when you were first like in the cove and stuff, where you got to, like right to the top, you jump off that. His falling animation in that, the way Banjo
He starts
falls,
going into
he
the.
starts tipping over. And,
Oh, yeah.
with
See,
that's
and
exactly
the
what I was
impact
talking
of
about.
when he hits the ground. Jesus Christ!
I want
it's like-
just have
Oh,
the main
man.
character react to your falling. Like
yeah, he's like
My favorite-
"Whoa!"
My favorite falling, and it's not even the falling; it's the scream. It's the werehog scream in Unleashed when he falls off the building and he gives you this over dramatized scream where he's like. It's like, what the
Is it,
dude,
it cut you
need to
out.
play,
It cut you out. You
two-
must have got
two
too
made
loud.
of
Did
one.
it just cut you out, literally the whole thing.
Did it?
Yeah,
Did it?
Yeah,
in
just
the
do it
first
again.
two
You have to
maids,
do it
in the
again.
first two maids, I used to kill Lara all the time
Wait,
because
wait.
her scream. Oh man, it was so good.
Screaming. And,
2013
like, her
or the
collapsing
original
into a-
original?
Yeah, the way her
puddle of
body
bones.
collapses when she hits the floor. It's
That's
like,
just awful.
Talking about the PS1 first game.
yeah, the PS1
Yeah.
original. Okay.
There's some
Uh,
gruesome.
wait,
Oh,
Exactly.
she screams like it in Tomb Raider 2 and 3.
There's some
but-
Yeah,
gruesome
yeah.
deaths in the first reboot that they got rid of for the second and third game. Like she was impaled by
Yeah,
spikes.
she get impaled by like
Oh,
yeah, I
yeah.
remember that.
Shit all the
That was
time.
funny.
It's
Brutal
like
to
it
watch.
was just
it was too over the top, man.
yeah. It was.
Well, you know what?
distracting.
You know what's gonna be more gruesome deaths, and I'm looking forward to is fucking Callisto Protocol, man. They
Yeah.
literally talk
Oh,
about how
boy.
death animations. Dude, hell, give me the most brutal death animation. You know what I mean? Go
I
ahead.
like how
Oh,
it
that shit give me
backing into
nightmares,
the
bro.
environment killed them. Like if you're not careful, you can backwards while you're like in a Resident
Mhm.
Evil or some game where you're shooting for you're slowly moving backwards and then to hit something and kill you.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Developers said they did that because they wanted to make sure, you kind of felt that death, and you do everything
And-
you can to not die.
And yeah, you can't just back up, and you got to worry about that, and it actually adds some tension to it.
I think you still for deaths like that. I still think you need a level of punishment onto the player as well, because sometimes like in the Tomb Raider remakes, you'd be like going down the water, she'd be sliding like this, the pole will go through a bloody neck.
I
she's like,
hate. I want to put this I
And
hate
then-
this.
yeah,
I hate
and then you
torture
get the
porn we're about to
checkpoint, so you
watch.
backslide it again, still make the same mistake.
This, I hate.
It just
I
happens
hate.
so many times in the same like cutscene. You're just like, oh, okay, I'm immune to this shit
God,
now. It's just
Dude,
stupid.
dude,
you
it's
get
so
immune.
low key. This is like torture porn.
We
I
just
hate
seen
it.
this. This one she gets crushed.
Oh,
dude,
you watch it, eh?
You have to really try to die there too.
It's so much, dude.
Look,
Well,
this
This game had a.
Wanna
fetish
talk
for
about
killing
a,
her in pain.
this definitely looks like a 7th gen game compared to the second and third game. I forgot. I haven't seen this game in a while.
Oh no! Isn't this
first Tomb Raider?
is this the definitive edition one or is this the
Either or, still the character.
I think the
models. I
definitive
played it on
edition one was better,
PC.
though.
New trilogy.
Ooh, I played it on PC.
Oh yeah, you can definitely tell.
This game was a little bit too much about just killing
Oh.
everybody in some ridiculous. Look at this extra
I
shit.
mean, damn.
No, come on, that's extra shit. That's good shit. That's like in Last of Us Part 2,
Oh.
man. They get pretty fucking
Let's get a little
brutal
frisky.
with some of those deaths too. Like the way sometimes they'll.
All
Like,
right, no, this is probably the most peaceful
That's
death.
disturbing.
It's like
bro.
I don't know how they expect you to fail to feel that. It's kind of like like in The Last of Us where you got killed so many
some of
times
these
and when
sequences
something
are just
meaningful happens.
Somebody got problems.
Yeah, The Last of Us, the
It's
clickers
so-
killed
it's
you so quick that it was
so
just like, all right,
many.
god damn it,
Yeah,
that's my
you just
20th time in a row.
Yeah,
no, but
you
the
just
part
get
2
used
one,
to it.
come on, they get really good with those death animations, man. Great.
This is so much extra effort to me. Good God.
That's what's good. It's not like it's
Yeah,
like
don't
in
you get
Sonic
stabbed in
1
the
where
face?
he just
That was
has
the
Yeah.
worst.
Right through the
I
neck.
could not stand that.
It's so much,
Uh-oh.
dog.
What's gonna happen?
Sliding
Barbed
into
wire?
shit, like,
She's gonna get split up
fuck.
with some barbed wire? Nope, down to the
No,
neck.
they just they reused the neck thing.
They should have had
because
the
they-
barbed wire. Nah, never
Yeah,
mind.
see, that's the same
Oh.
death. So
I mean,
I
come
love
on,
it. Like,
They
man.
love. I like how also she
You
wouldn't be
getting
able to move after that
demonetized.
first hit.
it's literally Mortal Kombat for Tomb Raiders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so unnecessary. Considering,
I never even
Nah,
seen
yeah.
that one. I never
Look at
died
that.
in that.
Me neither. That's a new one for me.
that is so uncalled for.
Again,
That
have you
was-
seen the Last of Us 2 death animation? Or
I can't
or,
remember. I mean, other than you talking about your
What the fuck
character
was
death?
that?
they
What
had it where
happened?
they would bite when sometimes she would bite like Ellie or whatever, and it would go and like the whole neck would go
I forget.
some
Oh,
intense
see that was a brutal fiery death. That one was.
or like
Helicopter blades? Nope.
Oh,
That
you
one-
saw-
The fact that you can the fact that you can die off of that is probably
What is
funnier
this?
to
Super
me.
Mario Sunshine?
Well, I was gonna say,
Wow.
one of the more brutal.
They
one of the more
love
brutal,
having her getting impaled. She gets impaled
Yeah,
like
there must be
6
something to
times.
that.
dude sound
Well, in
effects.
the
sometimes.
original Tomb Raider game, you would fall on spikes. She like sink slowly onto the spikes.
Yeah,
so I
she
don't know
was. It was
if they
fucked up.
wanted to bring the spikes back. But...
And back then, we weren't as desensitized to this
That's
shit
such
yet.
that's such a weirdly
She's gonna get
uncalled for
electrocuted.
death.
Nice.
Uh,
No, in
That one,
what's it
that
called?
one. More
In Super Mario
gamey.
Galaxy,
too
man, whenever
Oh,
Mario
wow.
rounds,
Oh, what the
Jump
fuck,
at
man.
off the fucking edge, and you just don't jump. It's like, what the fuck is this? Whoop.
oh,
oh, I never died by those guys like that.
They
either.
really love getting you stabbed by motherfuckers. Look at
Oh,
this shit.
damn, that's a fucking
this is all
fatality.
new to me. What the? Who was he?
Look how
Vlad the
uncalled for some
Impaler?
of
They
these
That's
love
a
that
genuine
shit.
fatality, yo.
Oh, I never
God
did
damn.
this either. Oh, the same one.
just-
Same
Right.
either.
They love
never
getting her.
happened to
They
me.
love impaling her with something. Good God Almighty!
God damn it! Now I'm down the rabbit hole. I want to see.
Damn! Look at this.
Deaths,
This is abuse. This is
deaths
abuse.
animations.
I haven't played this game yet.
If you told me this wasn't abuse, I call you a fucking liar.
It's my own
Good
We'll
fault.
just
God.
watch. We'll watch a few. I want to see.
What?
I think he dies. I think there's some gruesome deaths in this game, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know though.
Or they might be looking at the enemies though, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I remember. Yeah, he.
After you die,
he
they
takes some
they
hits, bro.
finish you off.
He takes
Bruh,
some
he
hits,
keeps
bro.
stomping on your ass.
Yeah,
Right.
he's stomping your ass.
Dang.
Yeah, that's cool.
They definitely
like that.
make you feel the punishment of dying.
Yeah, because they a lot of times they walk up to you and then they stab you. You're like, motherfucker,
It's been a year since
fuck
I played
you.
this game, and it's like
Fuck you, dude.
it's like I've already forgotten like the combat and stuff.
Because it's unmemorable.
That's
No, I just
Oh!
move on. That's what I
Hey,
said
Robert,
about why I'm so
Remember,
surprised.
Robert liked this game.
here we
Robert
go.
liked this
No,
game.
no, I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. I didn't like it.
Who?
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, they rub it in. You can't skip that shit either.
No, like sometimes it takes a little too long where they start walking up to you and you're like, all right.
Developers are sick bastards. That's what's going on here.
That's just
Oh, Abby.
you can.
No one's gonna feel
What?
bad.
Is this two?
Ooh.
Yeah.
A bunch of ways
Bunch
to
of
die.
times, that's what's right. It's a good way to
I'm
start.
sure it's just gonna be the
Jump off a
same.
cliff. At least it's not a.
Why do you think that's out there? Like, zoom out, right?
Let's see, 'cause, yeah, I remember they sometimes get pretty. Oh,
Damn.
That was pretty gruesome.
See, they keep it pretty quick though.
They kind of because.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Look at that! Come on, look at that! See it?
It's with the sound. It's even better.
Yeah, it goes.
I would love to see some of these
Look at
things in Japanese.
So apparently
'Cause you
they're
get-
making a Ghost of Tsushima movie,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and they want it to be all in Japanese. Like the
I mean, that's fine. I'm
Oh, look at
100%
this.
down.
Let's get too far up our own asses. Just make the damn movie all in Japanese.
Hey, listen, it's for the culture.
Pull your head out of your ass.
It's for the culture.
That barely killed her. That was weak.
You're gonna cut your audience in half right there.
They don't know how to read anyway.
She done.
That's what I said. You gotta cut
Face
in half.
down, ass up. Just how we like.
Young
What?
Ellie. Yeah, you should be able to swim there.
Wow.
Okay, you can.
Haven't heard that in a long time.
Oh, he's just gonna
She's gonna
drown.
drown.
Wait, is there not an air? Oh, there it is.
I
was
never
confused.
drowned, so this will be new.
I didn't even know. I was like, where the hell's the air
Oh my
meter?
god,
for a
drowning in
second?
Tomb Raider is horrible.
And they look so fucking real too. That's what makes it
And Mario.
even
And
harder
yeah,
to
Mario
watch.
64.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Tomorrow Galaxy, bro. When you
It's just awful.
even when
I hated the way that was
Tomorrow
animated.
Galaxy, when you die underwater.
I
goes,
All
All right, chat. What's another game we need to watch
And then-
death animations from?
Oh.
All right, chat.
The best thing is watching GTA death montages. That wasted shit makes everything funny.
Well,
I would
but
say
it's usually the same
GTA
videos. Guys,
videos.
right?
Ooh, that's a gruesome one.
Which one?
Oh, there's
My
a
chain
dog
reaction on the
ripping it.
highway. That's some good shit. Somebody
Anybody-
thought I put a cheat code in. I didn't.
Anybody in the chat got any recommendations for death animations in games? Feel free.
I know. I did. I recently did a video on that. What was?
Watching people burn on fire in GTA.
Yeah, Robert, give us some suggestions.
Dead Space. That's
I don't remember.
You just did the video. What do you
No,
mean?
not I didn't just do it.
When
How
did this
long
turn
was
into
it?
the
How long was
gruesome
it?
podcast? Of
I don't
death
know.
animations?
Oh,
It's
okay.
been,
No.
it was in November.
Talking
November.
about
Damn,
folding-
damn, it's been
folding
November.
animations.
Holy shit.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. I'll let you
November,
sign that.
bro.
I'll let
Time
you sign
flies,
that.
man. Time flies.
Getting old, man.
Let's check out this.
Fucking hell.
Why have you got Shadow the Hedgehog?
Yeah, I'm a little confused by that too. Not gonna lie.
Ooh.
Guilty Gear, whatever.
mean?
I'm fine with that. But what the hell is? What the fuck is that?
How can you
That-
not have Shadow the Hedgehog in your
Because he's
collection?
ass. It's ass. It's ass.
That's why you have to have it, because it's such
I
a
hate you, dog.
unique game.
I love how easily
It's
you get
unique, my
dismembered in
foot.
this game.
What are you talking about? There's a bunch of games that
Oh,
use guns.
name another Shadow the Hedgehog game. Exactly.
Sonic
Come
Adventure
on.
2. It was a better game.
No, but that ain't, it ain't
Rated
Shadow the
R
fucking Hedgehog with a
He's
gun.
the that's his introduction game. That's his game partially. It's his story.
No, his name is on the cover.
He's the leader of the
Man.
Dark Plot. Forgot. He's on the fucking cover.
Hey man, come on, curiosity man, you gotta play.
It's
I
not
you gotta
good.
hate
play.
those things.
All right, here. Let me get. Spoiler.
the
It's not
worst.
good. It's not good at all.
No, I heard it's not good. I
I'll
joke.
tell
I
you,
know
does
it's
it
like,
like,
I know it's
like
not
plant
good.
shit in you?
Oh.
Have you played it yet, Robert? Because if you haven't, I'm
No,
sorry.
now who knows how long we're gonna play.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, these things just like all of a sudden your body parts start falling off. If I remember, nope. There's
No,
some.
you just die.
There was something where you're just like your limbs
These are the
come
ones
off.
who like inject
Hey
you.
yo,
don't they?
goddamn.
So when
They
you're
didn't
appraise the
attach you yet.
Callisto whatever, just
Callisto
remember,
Protocol?
just know that
Look at
Yeah,
that.
This is where it
They
began.
actually gave you a lot of time to.
Hey,
They,
yo.
they you know, they were inspired
Jesus.
by something else.
We
the point.
get it.
We get the point.
Damn!
Goddamn.
Slice
That
your
was
shit
so
off.
unnecessary, dog. Like we
Oh,
got
shit.
it. We got it. Shit.
Poor Isaac.
Man, EA done fucked up with this IP, man.
The second game was good. It lost a little bit of the magic. I thought it was more of an action
Yeah.
game, but still.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think you're ever gonna beat the Ishimura for the environment and stuff. And it's so good.
And the only reason I started playing Dead Space was because I saw the trailer for Dead Space 3 at E3, and I was like, "Fuck, I forgot about those games." And then I had a 360 now, so I fucking picked them up. And then my Call of Duty group, they were like, "Dude, where you been for 2 months?" I was like, "Oh, I remembered that I'm actually a gamer." I played Dead Space 2, and Gears of War 3 without going back to Call of Duty. And like a month and a half later, I went back.
For me, it was as simple as fucking
I love-
Resident
I
Evil
love-
had fallen off. And I'm like, I need something else for that Resident Evil fix.
I love that the premise of the beginning of this podcast is let's see how much murder we can watch. Right? Like,
Hey.
this pure
Let's see how
adulterated
quickly we
murder.
get demonetized here.
Exactly. Is it all right if it's fake blood and fake bodies dying? Is that
I don't
cool?
think so. I think
You know what?
Is that cool,
Yo,
Mr.
it
YouTube,
matters.
sir?
It
What was I just watching? Was it a show or a game where like there should have been blood, and it's just so obvious when it's PG-13 or T for teen that it's just like it's just.
Oh yeah,
so-
this is ironically enough. Go watch Japanese censored versions of your favorite games.
You know, I was
They had to
Not-
censor so much it was ridiculous.
Last night I was playing Resi 2 right on the N64, and I forgot at the start of this you could actually select the color blood that you wanted. And in my mind I was going, oh, there you go,
really?
maybe Nintendo. And you
Mhm.
select green blood and stuff like that, like or blue blood. You know, if you
Well,
want to.
blue blood, really?
Yeah,
That's
red blood.
funny.
I like the blue blood conceptually. That just seems like it'd be interesting.
I
very
loved all
nice
that stuff
option.
back then. There was always like paint modes and stuff like that. Like if you're
Yeah.
playing a shooter, rainbow mode and stuff. Where you'd be like
Yeah,
shooting
shoot,
like,
pretty
rainbow
much
bullets. and
Nothing
stuff.
beats
GoldenEye had that.
Bayonetta
Yeah, yeah.
3's option mode for
Naive, naive angel.
mhm.
People are mad.
Oh yeah,
about that.
Hogwarts got delayed, but it
first
has
titty.
an official release date now. I don't know if it did before.
What was
Not
it?
for the
What
Switch,
is it?
doesn't.
Hogwarts is February 10th. I don't remember it having a specific date. I just remember having a year.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be 2022.
A couple of games recently, like, oh yeah, the Switch version come later. Come
That's
after
right.
that.
It is.
Remember, that's how it
Yeah.
started. That's how the Switch's life started. The Switch
Well,
version
I'm
made
just,
later.
yeah, I'm just saying. Recently, it's been.
Remember Doom Eternal? It was 9 months or something, or six
Right.
Mhm.
to 9 months. I forget the exact. And then they didn't release a physical.
They did later on
They did. Somebody did.
Huh?
with the limited run, yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, it
count.
was
Is there a
limited
physical?
run, wasn't it?
Yeah, you didn't see that too.
But it was.
did a
Isn't
physical.
it? Wasn't it only the collection? Did they have just the game, or did you have to buy
No, they
that?
just had the game. They just
Oh.
had Doom Eternal.
I thought you had to buy like
Oh,
the special
limited run.
edition.
No.
Completely missed that.
I mean,
FOMO.
hey, maybe it's
Don't do
still
it,
there,
man.
man.
Don't do it. You don't need it.
Maybe it's still there, yo.
Yeah.
Reaching for the phone.
Don't do it. You're not missing out on anything, man. You're not missing out.
I already have this shit on
You got an
Xbox,
Yeah, it's probably
Why
on
do I
Game Pass
care?
forever. So
and it's on Game Pass. So I didn't even open my Xbox copy yet because I don't have to. Oh, but the Switch version, that's gonna be rare. Oh, limited.
Yeah, that's stuck in my head, yo. The damn theme song to Doom Eternal.
Man, you don't remember no
I don't
theme
remember it.
song for Doom Eternal.
I'm humming it to you right now.
Doom Eternal had a theme song? What?
You can remember the first game's easy, The first game's easy. That's fucking
That sounds
iconic.
like-
Everything else, forget
That
about
sounds
it.
like fucking Undertale
Hey,
to
man,
me. I'm not
how
gonna
come I
lie.
remember it? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know
That's
what
like
to tell you. Yo, T, it's still up.
Not out
It's
yet,
still
huh?
up, yo. It's still up. Doom Eternal Switch. It's still up on limited run.
Don't
Oh,
do
is
it,
it?
T.
Yeah,
Don't
man.
do it.
He's
Oh,
the-
good.
For him
These are
not to,
Oh man,
ridiculous.
see,
for him
Rob-
not to buy.
I mean, come on. I knew I'm gonna do that.
So
What,
Robert-
you sound like a
There's
crackhead.
a, reverse,
You know
there's
I
a
gotta get it.
reversible
You know I gotta
cover
get it.
too, man.
You know I
There's a
gotta get it.
reversible cover.
You know I gotta
pre-order
get
it.
it.
two
You know I gotta get
copies.
it.
Two copies turned up now. One
I
seal.
gotta get 2 copies.
Oh,
I gotta
You
get
can
it.
also,
Oh.
also, you could pre-order it till September 11th, so you got time, man. You got time.
Wow, that's a terrible
Oh,
date.
that's a weird date to end it on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Oh,
That's when the
what's
Switch
right?
Pro's coming out.
Oh, that's
What
right.
happened?
Something
What
happened
happened,
that day.
Robert?
I can't remember.
Robert, what happened that day? That's a crazy day, isn't it?
I wasn't
That's crazy.
around. Something
Very,
happened.
very, very
That's
sad
crazy.
day.
Oh.
So I think we should have a special podcast on September 9th live stream. I don't know what day that is. What day?
I
of
don't
the
What's
week.
that for?
Isn't there like a
September
Friday?
Disney
Friday?
and Marvel Game
Oh.
Showcase. September 9th.
Really?
Yeah,
Get
they have
what's
that.
it gonna be? The Guardians of the Galaxy DLC?
No, it'd probably be Midnight Suns. What the fuck else
Midnight
was it?
Suns.
gives a sh-
You think they'll show Spider-Man 2? They
I
try to-
doubt it. That
No.
seems kind
Spider-Man
of
2.
early. I
It's
mean,
not
I'm
early.
just-
It's technically 2023. So if they really
But
wanted to,
do you think it's gonna be
fucking
early
Marvel.
2023 though?
I
No.
hope it isn't. I want them to take more time with their games because they keep pushing out these games quick, but they have no fucking depth.
I still stand by the argument that Guardians of the Galaxy was not a bad game. It just was. It was a decent first step.
Hey man,
I-
all I've heard is good shit about
Guardians of the
Guardians of the
Galaxy is a
Galaxy.
bad game.
I've
No,
only
really.
heard
Well,
actually
you-
But
great shit.
Terrell
Yo,
doesn't like it as
love
much as everybody else, though.
I don't like it as much as everyone else, but I reckon I think it handles the characters perfectly. I actually like it. It's weird because I love the movies, but I actually would argue it handles it a little bit better than the films do. And the gameplay, it seems it's a little bit more engaging than when you would think it would be.
Give us Quack Shot 2. That's what I want.
Yeah, okay. All right.
If it's
All right.
Disney
Good
and
one,
Marvel,
Clarkson.
are we gonna see some Mickey Mouse games, bro?
Who cares? Like,
No, I think they gave up on Mickey
anything
Mouse
Disney's
games.
involved in, I just don't care at this point.
I'm already mad at Disney for some random shit they did
Epic
over the
Mickey
weekend.
3, baby.
Wait,
Why
we
is
got,
it
we
like
got
20
that. We got
different
that Disney
versions?
game coming to the
Some
Switch as well,
bullshit.
wasn't it? That
Oh,
Which
the
one?
racing game. That racing game.
No. It's like
No,
it's
you're
like
talking
a-
about it's like a
Oh,
Disney
like an
land
Animal
game.
Crossing like one, kind of.
Yeah,
You know, not really Animal Crossing, but you know, kind of.
it's kind of like Animal
Someone
Crossing.
gave me their Disney Plus.
Not really.
It's more like a Sims game, actually.
Like logged
Yeah,
me into their
yeah.
Disney Plus. I haven't watched anything. I don't give a shit about
I'ma have to watch
Obi-Wan. I
something.
don't give a shit about Mrs. Marvel, whatever it's
Miss
called.
Marvel.
She-Hulk. I don't give a shit about
oh,
any of
shit, I
that.
thought that looked terrible, man.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
just
think
keep-
y'all looks good at all, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna throw this out here for my
Can't wait for
anime.
Loki season 2.
People
For my
keep-
anime. Oh, go ahead.
They're putting out the quantity over quality, and it's just like, come on, guys. Like, people are just, every reaction channel has to watch every show that fucking hits Disney Plus. It just
No, I agree
it's
with
just
that.
driving
But
me nuts.
It's
there's
so lame.
there's one reason why I have to watch
Oh,
Disney
Moon
Plus
Knight got good at
coming October. And for my anime fans, you know why. So they fucking
Is it the Bleach thing or something?
yeah, it's the fucking Bleach thing. Damn it! I was so pissed. I was like, "What in the fuck is this?" And from what I heard, the reason why is because the Crunchyroll is the place that usually gets all the anime licenses.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they spent way too much fucking money on Chainsaw Man, which is another show that comes out in October. And Disney said, "Well, I'm just gonna take this one," and we're just like,
Wow.
damn it, don't leave the anime alone. If you want to fuck up the comic books and Star Wars, whatever, that's on
it's
you.
over
Y'all,
now. It's
y'all
over.
take that. Y'all can take that L.
They got
don't you
the-
touch my shows.
They're gonna buy Crunchyroll now.
Where they got
Hey,
Star Wars
well,
Visions,
Sony owns them.
they got What If,
Yeah, buy Sony.
Trash.
just
Hey, chill out.
garbage. Just garbage.
I need you to chill out.
It's
I
just
need
like
you to
a-
chill out, guys.
I quite like some of the Star Wars Vision stuff.
It's
That was pretty
like
cool.
it's just
But you know what actually
assembly
looks
line
good?
stuff.
Is
Star Wars Visions, I don't think personally, but
Andor actually looks good.
I didn't even
And
watch
if
the
it's good, I'm
trailer.
gonna be pissed the fuck off because they shit it all over Obi-Wan. That's hey, how you gonna have a good show for Guy McAccent and not a good show for Obi-Wan?
Didn't he die?
Yo, why'd you do
Yeah,
that?
this is a
dog?
prequel
Oh,
story.
well, it's prequel.
They're gonna
Because he
de-age
was
him.
such a compelling character in Rogue One, so he gets his
Jesus
own show, and it looks like a good
Christ.
fucking show.
I hate T has the best name.
At least, hey man, there's nothing wrong with watching
Guy
a good
make
show.
accent ruined me, dog. What the fuck?
And you know what's sad?
Because he has no character. That's why I just call him Guy McAccent.
Oh, do you know?
he-
I
zero
remember hearing it. I remember seeing the name. I went Andor. I went, what the fuck is Andor? I was like, is that a planet?
That's the moon?
I don't know what the fuck is that.
Was that the
I was
moon?
like, shit.
Or the name
No,
of the moon,
that
or
was
the moon
Endor.
was
That was
planet?
Endor, the moon.
So what's Andor?
The moon. People think it's the planet, but it's
Yo.
actually the moon.
Well, what's
Fucking nerds.
what's Andor about then?
No, Andor's a dude.
Andor is his name. His name is Cassian Andor.
Oh, who the fuck
And
knew
I
that?
yeah,
It's just
exactly.
I was like-
thing. You're gonna name it so close to that
I thought it was
iconic
Endor.
planet or moon. It's stupid. People
Wasn't
think it's
that-
gonna be about little.
Isn't
little
that-
groups
I
of
thought I
little
was just pronouncing
teddy bear
it
guys
wrong
running
this
around
whole
with
Is
time.
that
that not intentional? I thought
Andor.
that was the point.
That's funny.
about-
I'd rather
Cassian.
watch a show
It looks
about.
like a good show.
Robert, you can't just go,
It's
that's
pissing
funny.
me off.
People keep talking. I mean, it's not like
It's like-
Rogue One's
It's like
terrible,
TE. That's a chuckle.
but people talk about Rogue One like it's like god tier Star Wars, and I'm like, I mean,
was bad.
compared to Disney Star Wars, it is, but
Nah.
I like
I
it
enjoyed
better
Rogue
after a
One.
few viewings.
I've seen it 3
I
times.
didn't like it
I
at
didn't
first.
hate on Rogue One. Rogue One had its
I don't
moments,
hate
man.
it. I've seen it 3 times.
It had moments.
They're
Yeah.
replaying it in
Just watch
IMAX
stuff, but-
this before Andor. You know, they're gonna show exclusive scenes of Andor in the IMAX screen.
Oh,
of
they're
Rogue
also
One
re-releasing No Way Home extended
as
cut.
a super fun edition.
Whoa, is it? Oh, it's in it. I might. Well, we going. I'm watching.
Hey, man.
You two
I'm
can go
going-
watch it together then, because
I'm gonna go watch it, yo.
Yeah,
two people
I might go. I might go look at
if
that.
I hear that
Hey,
they
you
added
wanna go
stuff
watch
that
it?
actually help flesh out some stuff, then maybe. But if it's
I wanna
just
know
like
how
I don't
more
think, man, if I'm
nonsense,
being completely honest with you, I think it's just gonna be.
more
I wanna know
cameo
how
stuff.
No, I think it's just gonna be extra little deleted scene type things. It's
I need to
gonna
see
be
how
insane.
much more.
It needs to be like Batman vs Superman Ultimate Edition, where it actually filled in some stuff and fleshed out some stuff, and I was like, oh, that makes sense now. Like
That's because
the
that's
what
because
now?
that movie needed it.
CVS.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about.
But I was talking
something
about
else.
Snow Way Home. It's getting a new.
Snow Way.
It's no way home. What the hell?
Well then they're bringing Avatar in September. Oh my God, that's next month. Fucking hell, in September. To theaters apparently. The original Avatar they're bringing it back to theaters.
Well, they're just trying to get. They're trying to get the record back.
Get more money to get back.
No,
into
they
that.
already have the record. They have the record back already because
they're trying to make sure nobody can even get close.
They got it back because they re-released it in China a few years ago during the pandemic.
Oh, really?
Nice.
I just
Oh yeah,
realized.
they've
but
had it
it's literally Disney versus Disney because they own Avatar.
It wasn't then. But it is now.
No, during then. So this was
Well, the deal had maybe just been done.
No, it might have been 2021 then. It might have been 2020. But regardless, it was. I remember they re-released it. It was only in China because it started slowing down there. And it didn't need that much to outgross Endgame, which it did.
It was close.
And then,
it was only.
And then it's literally it's Disney. Just you ever seen those memes with Obama giving a medal to Obama? It's just that where it's like, Disney giving a medal to Disney.
Well, you know, Endgame's hitting the theaters again. What do you think they're gonna
do later on when the next Avengers comes out? Boys, we're bringing back Endgame because we need to take over Avatar. Fuck those guys, aka
Avatar 2 is gonna have it by then.
And then Avatar
Endgame
3
is not gonna work the same way.
And then Avatar 5 will come and they'll be like, boys, you know what we need to do? We need to take over fucking Endgame.
To me, Endgame doesn't work the same way because you have all that build-up, all those build-up movies. Avatar is just one movie, so it's easy just to go sit down and watch that
and just watch
instead of having to watch Endgame and try to remember everything that led up to it, you know?
Definitely. No, I get that. So, I mean, I am still curious if how, like, for instance, you're saying Spider-Man is coming out. Spider-Man is close to 2 billion, and I'm curious if it'll actually cross it with this one. With this re-release.
Oh, they did.
It was like 1.9 something. Like real close. But
it's almost there without actually being there.
Let's talk about Splatoon 3 Direct.
Yeah.
Look how excited you sound, Juice.
So, to me, this was the, I'm going to use quotes, worst game-specific Direct for me. I think most pointless maybe would be. Out of all the game-specific Directs, I feel like this one could have easily been a 5-minute overview of Splatoon 3's new stuff, because that's about all there is worth of new stuff, about 5 minutes.
Like 30 minutes? Why?
My biggest issue with it, and I'll give everybody a chance to just talk whether they liked it or didn't, is Nintendo was notorious for this, and usually it doesn't bother me as much, but when it's the third Direct for a franchise and they just have to explain all the basics over every time. They did it for Splatoon 2 Direct, and now they did it for Splatoon 3. Yeah, there's going to be some new people watching that never played Splatoon 1 and 2, but you got to figure 90+% of your audience watching that Direct are Splatoon fans, and it just feels, I called it mansplaining, basically. It just feels like down talk, like they don't trust that you have enough intelligence to understand how the fucking game works. So let's spend
the third one
20 minutes on that, and then we'll give you about under 10 minutes of other, more relevant stuff. And to me, that's just the absolute biggest issue. I mean, if it was just focused new stuff, explain, like I said, yeah, I get the card game is about kind of like Turf War, but how does the cards work? What does the card determine? What card does what for you? Like, is there one card that gives you this? Is there strategic elements to it? Is there a card you'll get early? You want to wait until the end to play it? What is it? Like, you couldn't even spend a minute explaining how the card game worked. I don't understand that. The single player got 45 seconds. So
yeah.
To me, it was an absolute fail.
How long did lockers get?
Lockers
Probably
got
55 seconds.
I would say
got
almost
more time
over
in the
a minute.
card game.
Because they brought out lockers up later.
I do like the ideas of those lockers, though. I do like that.
It's
that's a cool idea.
But to me, it's just like, why? Why are you down talking us? Why do you not think people know how to play Splatoon? That's what bugs me. So that was my
talk
take.
about Turf War. Well, literally the very first thing they went Turf War, and then they started explaining. I was like, what the fuck? Come on, man. Jesus.
The game looks great visually. The game looks really good. It's significant. I think it's a significant jump over 2. you know, and it's a tried and true gameplay. But to me, like
No more of that PU graphics to be
the direct
stuck in.
Oh
itself.
Lord.
So that was my take. Terrell, what
Round
do you
up on the
think?
Switch, baby.
What's your summary? What's your good and bad of the direct?
I think overall I didn't really mind it. I didn't have as much of an issue with the re-explaining, partially because it didn't feel as long-winded as some other. You gotta remember, I'm also coming from like, I remember there's Xenoblade 2 Direct, which I was engaged with, but even I was like, bro,
But it was
this
shorter
is...
than this.
Newer players might want to
It
try
didn't
it
feel
out.
like it. I'll tell you that, and that's coming from someone who loves that game. I was like, what the fuck? So for me personally, I still am not a huge fan of it of them explaining shit though, and the reason why is simple, because this game did too fucking well for you to think that people haven't played this game. Like doing it for ARMS, like if you did ARMS 2, I would easily expect it there. Partially because people don't fucking not everybody grabbed
And the
this
game
game.
sold
Not
2
everyone-
million. You know, like
Yeah.
Splatoon 2's what last I remember was well over 10 million. I forget what it was at.
Yeah,
was
it's
it
like-
like a 13 or something? I don't know.
It's like 13, 14 million. So I'm like, why the fuck are you explaining it? I kind of didn't mind it partially because what they did is they would bleed in new stuff while explaining it. Like the cool like new squid maneuvers they added in, like the whole like back jump and shit, and the dash you can do now in squid form. So I
That
was
is
kind of like,
cool.
okay, that's fine. Overall, I was fine with it. I think I was pretty neutral on it as a whole. My biggest thing is the few things I really wanted them to fucking talk about, like, do we still have a fucking daily time limit
Mhm.
with this stupid ass every 2 hours you can only pick no, it's like 4 hours you can only pick two
Yeah,
maps. and
salmon
that-
run gonna be all the time, or is that time?
Yeah, like
It is.
That was-
Summer runs confirmed 24 hours now.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank God. All right. That's
Yeah,
cool.
they
But
did.
see, that
It's
should have
like,
been in
why-
the fucking. Why isn't that in the
Exactly.
direct?
Why wasn't that in the goddamn direct? That could have been
that's-
something I could have been happy to hear. You
Yeah,
know,
like I'm glad that that's a thing. I wish fucking announce the shit that would get
it's a
people
big thing.
excited.
All
That's
of
the
us
shit-
didn't
I'm
stand
telling
that
you,
part
they don't.
in-
They think the
in
direct.
2.
They don't think people understand how to play the game. That's what
Yeah.
the direct's for people
So
to know
I'm
how.
glad. So I think as an overall direct, it is probably on the weaker ones because it didn't get me more excited
Because
for
we're
the
2
game.
minutes in and it's still talking about turf war. Sorry.
But for me personally, I was just like, it's fine. It's a Splatoon direct. It showed off new weapons, new specials. I wasn't really missing a new mode. I think Splatoon 2 was fine. I think the biggest problem was just that people were really sick of being constantly locked down by time limits that had
And you
nothing
can
to.
finally join friends. Thank you, Retro Death.
Oh yeah, you can finally join friends and shit. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Join.
You
I
could
don't
join
remember. I
friends
thought we-
before, but
It was an
you couldn't
It was
join
an-
before the lobby. You had to wait your turn to join a friend.
Yeah.
Right, that's the thing. So
And
And
you
it
can
is
now
cool
you
that they have the
create
little
the
lobby
lobbies
with
now
the
to join.
ghost, and you can see like the other players.
yeah, the ghost
standing.
lobby thing. That's
so
cool.
I appreciate that shit's still there. That like
This is
that
how
they,
you swim in squid form. Get this shit out of here.
so
Get
for me
this shit out of here.
so I think if I had to rank it, it's probably in the middle of the road, like C, if I had to give it anything.
All right,
It's a
what
str-
do you think, Robert?
Yeah, it's nothing to do with the game. It's just the direct itself.
Yeah, I'm talking
I
about the
mean-
direct most.
For me, I was really just pretty disappointed because, especially the 2 days before, we're making our expectations kind of
Mhm.
high. I feel like, or I didn't think it would be that high. You know, just talking about like ideas thrown
Yeah,
out
we
there
came up with some ideas in
in the
like
directs.
5 minutes that were like
Yeah.
a good idea.
Pretty
Well,
seems like it'd be
few
pretty fun, and unfortunately, there were just no new modes. I think that's kind of the biggest killer for me. Where just the two things, the biggest thing that really killed me, are the fact that it's the time limit stuff where it's still okay. Well, you still have the 2 maps every 4 hours or 3 hours or whatever they're gonna do, but it's just like now you have 12 maps in launch or something like that. You're only be able to play like 2 to 4 of them every 4 hours. Like, bro,
Yeah.
that means in a day you can only really play like you can't even play all those maps in a day. Like I can't understand.
And there's
I
only
can't wrap
5
my-
new
my-
ones.
my-
At least no more map announcements when you
but
start.
even
the
then,
goddamn
like even if
game
it's just
every
the
time.
5, right? Which still 5 is surprisingly weird that it's only 5 new ones. But like think about it,
Yeah,
like
let's-
even though you have 12, right? You can't literally play all of them in a day. I'm like in a day I can't play every single map. That's crazy to me. That makes no
That's
sense.
weird.
You know, still,
the only
and you're adding
still,
more. You're going to be
on
adding
the third
more.
one.
So are
The
these
only-
all new ones
20
here?
something maps probably.
No, they're not all new.
You can't play
The
all of
third
them.
game.
The only
You know?
advantage,
Because
no,
that's
because
12.
Mahi Mahi's old, Museum is old,
Well, there's only
Hammerhead Bridge.
it's
Mako
5 new ones.
Mart's
Everything
old.
else is old.
Yeah, so
everything else
5
from the
new
previous
12.
ones.
We'll talk about the actual game, but after
But
everybody's
and then
gives their direct
last thing
pick.
for me is just the there's lack of new multiplayer modes because like I get it. The odds are it's just like with any multiplayer shooter that a lot of people play. You're like there's like for like Call of Duty or something, right? There's like 9 different game modes. Everyone plays team deathmatch. You know what I mean? So it's like most people, and I get it. It's the same thing with Splatoon. You add like 8 different modes. Only people are gonna play turf war for the most part. You know what I mean? Especially you even look a year down the road. It just being honest, But it's like
I don't know. Turf War would be the one that they play the most. But okay.
I are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Of course it would be. In terms of just like overall, it's the one that it's literally the first thing you click. Whatever is the first thing you click, that means more people are gonna play that. Like even if like you'll have a lot of people that play like ranked, which would be probably more so what's the one with the big
Slam
you got the
Blitz,
tower controller, then the
a Rainmaker.
Rainmaker.
I'm sitting here watching it, and all I could think of was Overwatch 2. That's why I could not get Overwatch 2.
That's a
out of
little
my head.
disrespectful.
At least
Not gonna lie.
Overwatch 2 has the dignity to become the only Overwatch. So it just merges 1 and 2.
Right,
So if
and
you're playing Overwatch,
right.
you don't have to worry about a split user base. Everybody who plays Overwatch 2 is playing. There's no other Overwatch when that.
Isn't Overwatch?
You can say that's a negative, but
It's also going to be free to play.
It's free to play.
Free to play.
That's not the same thing.
To me,
No, I just meant like how I felt like it was insignificant. Like
I know what
making
team meant, just in
3.
terms of
I get what you
the
mean, I get what you
change
mean.
to make you feel like it's
Right,
Overwatch
right.
2.
that's why I put Splatoon 2.5 in the title, because I was hoping, and you guys can attest to this in the chat and everything last week. I'm like, I know they've worked on this. Team members worked on Animal Crossing and Octo expansion, but I was like, all right, they've had 5 years since Splatoon 2 launched, so I was hope they were just coming up with new ideas. And the other 2 games had short development cycle. For all I think the first game was 2 years from conception to releasing it. The Wii U needed a game that utilized the gamepad. All right, it launched with modes missing. That came in August. Game launched in May.
Yeah, we all made excuses for it.
Splatoon 2, they wanted to get it out early in the Switch to make sure the Switch was a success. That was a 2-year span, so I figured 5 years. If it wasn't for the 5-year thing, if this was Call of Duty and it was 2 years, I wouldn't expect it every year. But let's say the typical Call of Duty was 2, now it's 3 years development cycle. If it was 2 to 3 years, okay, but 5 years later, you're releasing it on the same system that the previous game was on. I just expected, based on those reasons, that's why I expected more. But getting back to just the Direct in general, Clocked It, what do you think of the Direct itself, not what you think of the game or how good the game is going to be?
I watched it twice, as you know. I watched it once sneakily in work with no volume, just because I wanted to be there. Watching the Direct live, and then I watched it again when I got home with volume, and that was a better experience. But first impressions, I think I was like most of us, I was pretty underwhelmed. Like you said, ignore the game aside. I think fundamentally for me, what I was 100% expecting were new modes, whether mostly in Turf War. Yeah, I know Turf War already has some great modes and stuff, but I was expecting something new, and it just wasn't there. So when you're just seeing regular Turf mode with some new weapons and new skills, which is all going to be fun, it jumps onto the salmon run. You see some new bosses, that's cool. And then it shows us the Splatfest, and you're like, yeah, I can't wait for the Splatfest. It's going to be fun and cool. But fundamentally, the only new thing that we were shown was the card game, which I can't get really excited for. It'd be like like I said again, excited for Gwent, more than playing The Witcher 3. you know, in The Witcher, or what's it called? Fucking what's the ball game called in Final Fantasy X? Fucking I can't remember.
I don't
Well,
know.
Horizon Forbidden West has like
Just
a
like those
turn-based
minigames.
strategy, like chess game, and I tried it once and I never played it again.
I said the card game in this looked like Terrell might recognize it. Looked like the card game in Bravely Default 2, where
Oh,
you had to
yeah.
have those positions and overlap each other and stuff in order to win and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Fundamentally, I was just underwhelmed, and which I suppose would lead to a bit of disappointment because, you know, I'm not on the level of Splatoon where I can get excited about being able now to quickly flip backwards in squid form, you know, to change direction, you know, or get, you know, overly excited now about a katana type of weapon when fundamentally, you know, it's still, you know, the game still plays the same, you know, for the most part. I don't expect the game to play differently, but that's where a new mode would come in to add some extra excitement and stuff. It just wasn't there. So yeah, I was a bit let down, but like I said, watching it the second time around with the volume.
What do you think of that voice over? Because I thought that was
I
another
didn't hate it,
negative.
you know,
Yeah, I didn't.
It's-
I didn't hate that in the slightest. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
you had like this weird
Blitzball,
hatred you
thanks,
had
Retro.
My
confused the
gosh,
fuck out
especially
of
during
me.
the card game, like it's just so forced. It sounds so
I mean, it's
artificial.
this-
like they just
it's
this
kind of the
person
sti-
doesn't even know what they're just reading a script. They don't even know what the game is. That's just
Yeah.
how I feel about
You
it.
remember the first Splatoon voice?
Yeah, they're all. I mean, that's kind of
'Cause
always been Splatoon's little MO.
I don't.
when
It's
it
like
comes
I
to
wasn't. I
way
wasn't. I wasn't like
Can't hear us
fundamentally. I wasn't fundamentally upset with them showing how to play Turf War again. I don't think it dragged on for long as a kid. I mean, Nintendo do this all the time. I mean, how many times did like with Smash Bros? Like the last Smash Bros thing, like,
fans like morons.
like right, you press B to punch, press forward and B to do this. You know, you press up and B to do that, and they still always Nintendo like to show their games how they're played in all their major things. They do it all the time, whether it's fucking Mario Kart or whatever. And you know, I think a lot of the frustration might just be on some of us who might be feeling that Splatoon fatigue. And it's not just Splatoon; it could be with any game that you're feeling a bit of fatigue with. That you feel like, okay, I need something meaty now to really get me, you know, engaged, fired up again. Like, you know, can I play this game in two different versions of this game now over multiple years, you know, and I need something with oomph, and it just wasn't, you know, fundamentally there. So I can understand it.
So I'm looking. I didn't see. I'm guessing Salmon runs a completely different lobby. You don't walk into the same. That's what has me. I know they confirmed it, but it's again they want to stick to this mindset that hey, you got to physically walk. I mean, you can do the fast travel stuff, but just have you walk into the mode, like a room with the modes. Like the Salmon run doesn't have to be a little corner tucked away in this.
I personally like that. It gives personality to it.
Yeah, that doesn't really bother me too
That's-
much.
It's like
First two
that's
times.
kind of the whole
that's what
that's
I'm
kind of the
saying,
whole
like,
Mario Galaxy versus Mario Galaxy 2 debate. You know,
Exactly. Like
I don't mind
at
either
this
way.
point. I know they did say about the single player that's the end of a trilogy, so maybe if they I'm sure this franchise isn't gonna be done after 3. Maybe they will expand or try more new things.
How about you expand the damn single player story mode? How about you expand that?
And it might be. I'm sure
Yeah.
it's gonna be really fun. For me, I don't know if it'll be really fun. I think it's gonna be good. Worth the game price of the admission? No, for sure not. But to me, this feels like if I sold Splatoon 2 for $40 and bought Splatoon 3 for basically $20 upgrade, I could live with that. I can't see the need to own 3 and 2 on the Switch. Like, I just can't see the need for 2 after if I pick up 3.
Realistically, 3 is just for if you really. To me, always, at least based off of this, it feels like unless you just really like Splatoon like that, you don't really need to buy 3 unless you just really like the Splatoon gameplay.
And since
Like, for
3
those-
they
Also, it's a
confirmed
different
has,
single player.
didn't they confirm
3
every
is the
weapon?
one you want.
Every weapon.
Yeah, yeah, 3 will have every weapon.
Every
2
weapon
had.
from the first 2 is going to end up probably with all the maps at the end. I bet it's going to have all the same,
Yeah.
Probably.
the entire map from 1 and 2, you know. Like, there's going to be no point to go back to those other than the single player, which is fun, but that's where you
And
could
they
have a little more
don't
meatiness
buy the game for the single
to the
player.
single player, and you could, really, that could be the thing that separates the games more, because obviously
That would have helped me justify buying Splatoon 3.
and the reviews might come out and it might
Day
be, oh
one.
my god, this is like the most fun 8 hours I've ever had in a single player with some amazing boss fights, and that, to me, that would almost entice me. Like I said, I would want to sell Splatoon 2. I don't feel like I'd need to own both at that point, but there's still a chance. But the fact they give it it's such an afterthought in this direct.
Yeah.
I mean, even less than the first one, and it's just like they didn't
Well,
give it.
remember the first one was the same thing. They only had a minute, and we were like,
This was
I don't know.
they mentioned it, and then once they started showing it, it was like 43 seconds.
Part of me
And,
doesn't mind it
Salmon Run
because
looks
it
cool,
feels like they're still hiding it for whatever reason. But then you also realize, oh wait a minute, it comes out in like 2 weeks.
A
No,
month?
3 weeks. 3
Couple
weeks. 3 weeks.
Let me see if I can figure out.
When
Okay,
is it?
so you get shapes.
It's the 9th. It's the 9th of September, and it's the 15th right now, so it's less than a month. It's like 3 weeks, which is kind of nuts.
It's almost like Tetris then.
Yeah,
Because-
very Tetris-esque. But it said, you like.
Well,
The funny thing is that this will be the
Versus-
beginning. This
But
will be
what
the
happens
beginning
if
of
you
the
have a
season.
shape?
This is exactly like Bravely Default 2. Even with the
Yeah, it
cards,
is.
the way they're laid out and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Exactly like it.
What happens
It's
if you have a shape and you don't, like, you have a shape that overlaps with stuff you already put down? What if it has to be specifically in a blank
I don't think
spot?
it needs to be specific. What you do,
No, it doesn't.
you take over an area
Yeah,
of what you
yeah,
lay down.
yeah.
And then the way that some of the games work is then they can fundamentally take over the surrounding area of a certain block. So you're trying to expand
Yeah.
stuff like that. I got no issue with the card game.
I'm sure
the
it'd be
card game.
fine.
will
I don't
great.
really. I know people. I know you mentioned how y'all wanted to see more of it. But I'm kind of like, the reason why I wouldn't want to see more of it, because what would be the complaint then? Why the fuck they spend 5 minutes
I don't
on
know.
the
Lock
damn
the whole
card
thing
game?
down.
Yeah, I don't need to see more of the card game. I just,
I'd like to, if
I
you have
wish
a better
they showed
idea.
everything like that, where just.
I don't
real
mind
quick,
if you're gonna
that-
show
that-
more of the card game. Let that be like its own separate thing. I wouldn't want that in the
You can
direct.
show Salmon Run.
How much
say,
more
hey,
is there to
Salmon
show?
Run's
All they have to
always
do is tell you about what,
I'm just saying.
how many turns
you-
there are, is there a time limit, just some basic stuff. Like, if you're going to
I'm just
show it.
saying. I'm
Well,
just
I
saying.
still think that's already going too in depth when you're talking about just.
Yeah,
like,
because most
overview.
people would just be like, bro, just show me the core game. I don't really care. But like, the
Because I
card
don't
game's
think I think
cool.
this whole thing probably could have been trimmed down. Because I don't know, 30 minutes. I don't think you needed a 30-minute.
It didn't need to be 30 minutes, but that's
Hmm.
partially because they fucking did that thing where they explain shit. Like I
Yeah.
said, they explain stuff while adding in new content, so it's kind of a
It's
weird.
great because Salmon Run was a lot of fun when we played. Like I really
And
enjoyed
that's it.
Salmon Run.
Yeah,
Even when they're showing Turf War, they are showing the new moves. They're showing the new
Yeah.
weapons.
Yeah, they are.
and
They're
stuff.
showing new
Those ones,
weapons,
you know,
so
yeah.
it's kind of hard. It's like, oh, what do you trim down? Well, you would just trim down the explanation, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Don't explain it. Just go. Oh,
I love these character designs though. The fucking enemy designs are hilarious.
hell,
The
most people.
the game looks fantastic.
I just know about the
Yeah.
context.
Visually,
Most
it looks
most people play this purely just to play Samurai consistently.
Yeah.
Like,
Can
oh
you,
shit,
is
I
it
can
just
play it.
random 4 weapons that you're stuck with?
we don't know. To my knowledge, we
That's
don't know.
See, that's
You don't want to
something that
explain
they
too
should-
much. You don't want them to explain too much. Just,
Well, they explain too much in terms of the other things. Like I don't think you need to talk about
matters.
what Salmon Run is and stuff. Just tell us. I don't know that shit, but they didn't say.
Somebody in the chat. Oh, it was Retro Death. I actually agree. My first thought was, this is Splatoon 2. This is what Splatoon 2 should have been.
Should have been, yeah.
Like this, if this was Splatoon 2, I'm like, all right, that's a significant
we
upgrade
talk-
over the first game. It's small stuff over.
Well, I
over
can't
the
I
actual
can't
two.
I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that because still Splatoon 2 arguably added a lot more new than what this
Splatoon
game is.
three,
Yeah, that's what I'm
personally.
saying. Like, this added just a little bit more than 2, and I feel like if this would have been 2 from the start, then I would have been like, all right, I'd liked 2, but I still felt like it was.
It's like you got this big run mode here, I believe, and I think this one.
This is
What was it,
frustrating,
Rob? Like once
It's
every few months or something?
months. Every few months.
What is?
Yeah,
Months.
it is every few months.
What's every
Come
few months?
on,
So
man.
this is almost like it's its own Splatfest or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but even Splatfest is probably gonna
Oh,
be.
is this a single player? Yeah, here we
More
go.
often.
Let's
Yeah,
check the
single player.
timer. We're at
It's all about-
Check the timer.
1952.
950. Say 950. You run on 950.
1950. Okay, you see this.
Let's see what it goes up to.
You
I
got
like seeing
Kelly
Calimarines
Marie.
always. I like their.
I also like
We've
seeing
already
all the
seen a lot of
introductions.
this.
That looks fantastic. That looks
That's
so
true. They
good.
did show that before. I remember we actually saw it in this.
See, when I
the
saw
whole-
this right here, I was like, oh,
Spider-Verse.
damn. They're just, it's playing the same tricks over again. Like, there's,
Yeah,
it looks better
He's just
than
challenge
Octo
level.
Expansion as far as, like, you're not just on these same platforms the whole time. Like, that area looked cool.
Yeah, but this is I thought this is what I thought you'd love this type of thing. This is the 3D world, sunshine.
It's got a
secret
little bit of
areas
that.
type of.
Yeah, that's
type
what
of
I
race,
always I know you're always like, oh, it's the, like for multiplayer, but like, bro, it's literally designed like 3D world levels. It's
I
literally
would
like,
say more like Sunshine's challenge levels. That's what I feel.
which is like 3D world levels, which is like
talking about
that's
3D
like
world
the
Galaxy,
draw
levels?
without the gamepad, people.
which is like the one area in
I do
Super
like that they
Galaxy.
still included it in here though. The mailbox and everything.
See, I like
Look at this guy.
challenge.
Look
I
how
like,
fucking awesome this guy looks.
I like challenge
Yeah,
levels and
he looks
stuff.
like hell.
Great.
It looks like hell.
He
I
looks
don't-
hilarious. I would love to be his friend.
I will say the one thing that'll make Splatoon 3 kick off
Oh, a
way
photo
better.
mode.
Yeah.
Oh,
one
that's
thing
it.
that'll make-
80 hours for juice.
There you
Let's
go,
go.
They
Juice.
had a
That's
photo
that's
mode in the
60
first game, not to
right
this
there.
depth,
You can
but
see
they
all
had
the jaggies.
the last game had a photo mode.
I will say the
Like that? I don't remember that.
Not quite like
it,
that, but you
it wasn't that in depth, but it
you
was.
could
Yeah, I
switch
was gonna say I don't remember that in the slightest.
selfies. You could do facial expressions.
Like this was in the hell. I think
You're
this
gonna
was in the
question
first
me
game.
on photo mode in a game? Come on.
Recon mode? Wait, I don't.
Oh, I did.
Yeah,
see this.
yeah, that was in the first game though.
Recon mode?
Yeah, you could,
Yeah, you could do
but
that.
you had to like.
kind of learn it.
Hey,
beforehand.
don't worry, guys.
okay,
There's gonna be a reason to download the Nintendo Switch Online app again.
Ironically
There you go.
enough, ironically
Splatnet
enough,
3.
I was like, they really still trying this?
I want to put this in context.
Terrell
I
already
never-
downloaded it.
I never uninstalled it.
Oh,
I literally have just left
I
it on my
installed
phone.
that like 2 years ago or more.
I'm surprised you ever installed it in the first place.
Well, we had to try it out.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did. Try
Remember
it
when the
out.
Switch launched and it didn't even have the online? It was free, right?
Yeah.
You could play everything for free, but it didn't have the app and stuff.
No, it
That
didn't.
was the good days, man.
Hey,
That's when it was
guys,
better.
guys.
That's when it was better.
Cloud saves.
I agree with Retro again. I don't know what 3D World levels you guys are talking about, but I see none of that.
Well,
in
it's literally
Splatoon.
structured in a linear 3D world,
You're
type.
talking about like a
Yeah,
challenge level where you're just like,
No,
it's like
just,
the
bro,
main game?
3D worlds are 3D world levels
They're
are
like
literally
bite-sized
linear
levels.
obstacle course levels.
I don't know how you don't see it.
Floating platforms.
It's literally floating platforms, obstacle
Mm.
course like levels. That's what they are, with each one having a different mechanic for every single level, which is exactly what Splatoon is.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
It's free.
I don't.
You know what I'm
We
saying?
can't diss
I-
Mario here, Rob. You can't
But
compare
I'm not
Mario to
dissing it. That's a
Splatoon.
compliment. I love
3D
this
World
Splatoon
was
shit.
way
Yeah,
more
yeah,
great.
yeah,
I'm on your
but-
side.
but
I'm on your side.
I was saying, it's not considered.
If
an
3D
insult,
World
it shouldn't-
levels were
It's
were
full-
more
okay,
small,
retro,
linear.
hold on. Retro says 3D World mostly has full levels, not just floating platforms. I want you to go right now and find me like
Yeah,
fucking
but they
10
look like-
levels that have platforms that reach to the ground that you could see environments around.
Yeah,
Fine.
they do.
Well,
Yeah,
in
they do that.
Splatoon
I can literally think
2,
of 4 right now.
if they like it had that concept of 3D World, instead of like you're talking,
Right.
there's linear. Yeah, you have
Right.
to go to this warp box to get to the next warp box. To
You
get
know
to
what?
The end.
The one thing that I thought was interesting is they mentioned they're gonna have large scale paid
If you-
DLC.
Oh yeah, the
What is that? Is that just-
extensive paid DLC.
That's gonna be story DLC, I think. I think
If you want to get technical about
Yeah.
it, virtually every 3D Mario, and guess what? Apart from Mario Sunshine, has floating main levels.
Yeah.
And we
Mario
I
forgot
guess
the
it's
By the
time.
way,
Four.
that
Not
It's
Odyssey though.
constantly
Not
surrounded,
Odyssey
it's
though. Not
floating.
Odyssey
by the
though.
way, that's just pearl.
No,
mode, you
Odyssey
know?
does.
I forgot to do the
New
time.
Donk City. New Donk City is floating.
It's technically a floating. It is technically a floating
It's
fucking.
floating.
But it's more so like it's not like you know
I know. I'm,
the difference.
I'm reaching there, too. I'm
Yeah,
reaching
it's reaching there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
He's like,
saying?
who,
See,
he's
like,
like, who you fooling,
Right here,
bro?
I paused
Who
it.
you fooling, bro?
So right now, let's say you had Mario, right? Remove all the Splatoon things. You now have floating platforms that you can long jump to that platform,
Yep,
which you long jump to the ones in the background. And you jump from
Yeah,
long
but you
jump on
got
the
more
very
than
back.
you got way
you
more
have-
width.
it's like-
The levels are way more there's way more options other than
Yeah, the dun 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 dun.
A bunch of different ways to go.
I think you just like the theming
there's
of
hidden
the
What, 3D
areas.
World? 3D World is
No,
actually
pipes to go
linear.
down.
3D World, I
Boss,
think
mini
3D World.
bosses.
Here's your
3D World
level.
had
No,
better
3D World,
theming.
You can
not
see the
going
whole
many
level
different
right here.
locations.
And it's just like it's the same. Oh, twirl the
Not
stages.
boring as fuck.
Now you're gonna shoot this to get flung forward. Like to not have what they showed, to not have any new mechanics in here. Like, oh, you're shooting moving things again. Like
It's just not fun.
No,
like,
no,
this
no.
is new.
First of all,
Okay, that's
that,
new.
but also that too.
the
That
way-
no, that you
yeah.
did something just like that in Octo Expansion.
they're just obstacles.
what the having the being in a crab.
Well,
You were
that's
not
the
in
new
a crab.
special. Just like in Octo
This-
Expansion, you were using the specials.
Yeah, they're
Hold on,
essentially.
hold on. Also, because but that's your
But you're still
problem.
shooting missiles. You're still shooting missiles like as they're coming at you. Like you're still
They're just obstacles.
just because you're in a
They're
crab now. What's the difference between
That's
being in a
totally-
crab?
You know the most fun I had with Splatoon
That's
levels?
level design though. Obstacles are literally level
Is-
design.
I know, but
you
you got
you
missiles
do-
coming at you, just like in the Octo
You got missiles coming
Expansion.
at you in Mario. You jump
Yeah.
on bullet
I
You
know,
got
but-
fucking bullet bills, bro.
But they come at you though. They actually come at you, not just to provide a obstacle.
Not always. Not in Super
But
Mario
we're
Galaxy
talking
2
about-
when they would shoot just straight forward and they wouldn't move.
I'm
The
just
big
talking
Okay,
giant
about
I'm like
monster.
more
I'm kinda
creativity.
Comparing Splatoon test levels to fucking Mario levels. Like I'm over this.
Damn, look at this.
All
See,
I'm
like
saying
this-
is, you
this
can't-
looks-
These are just fucking tutorial
That
levels.
is
to get
that
you
is
ready
from
for-
like the first
They
game.
even said that
Yeah.
in the goddamn.
No,
thing. It's like,
but they
to get
see now
ready
that's
for-
that's what
But what
Juice
is
bring
it?
up.
What is it that you fundamentally find boring about it? Is it
It's
just
just boring. It's just,
you don't feel like you're actually not really doing much? Is it?
I'll say this.
Here's
No,
what
no.
Collected I'll answer.
But
I'm not-
no. Let me. I can simplify this easily. It's not necessarily that it's inherently boring. The problem is that this is the third game and it feels kind of redundant because
yeah.
what Mario's advantage is that Mario, although has levels that are similar in style,
They'll change them up. Yeah.
there's a difference in aesthetic and
Well,
in
it's also
terms
a
of
massive difference. I mean, Galaxy to 3D World to Odyssey, they're not
Mhm.
even remotely similar. You know what I mean? In terms of-
no, exactly. Whereas I would say all three Splatoons are rocking the same kind of level design
Like if I was to
It's like-
drop you a
They
Splatoon
are. They are. I'm not
level
saying that
in,
by any means.
would you even know?
I
the
think
difference?
if they were to change like Splatoon
Yeah, I
has probably
agree
one of the more Splatoon has probably one of the more interesting like visual styles
So
of any
it's
Nintendo game.
50 seconds.
So it's a pain that when you get to the single player literally is like, hey, look, we're in this weird floating void, and we're just gonna jump on platforms for about a minute and a half, and then grab the zap fish, and then the level's over. And I'm
Mhm.
like, for the first game, cool. The second game, you should have been adding in some new stuff. But the third game, you're like, bro, are we
well, it's
are
the
we still
fourth
here?
technically because the Octo Expansion
Hey,
had a
listen,
similar.
listen. I'm gonna listen. We're not doing all that. I see what you're doing. You're not wrong, but that's not what we're doing here.
In the
No,
end
I
of the day,
get it. I think
it's
my
some of the best
arguments-
shooter campaigns, man. For me, I
I
love
think
them.
my argument is kind of like what Rob leans towards is that I understand the desire and the lure for something fleshier and meatier and with more obvious substance than what these kind of like subspace areas do. But I still find that the core movement and shooting and mechanics of the Splatoon character and the gameplay of it enticing her to enjoy jumping between those platforms, shooting missiles, grappling onto things, shooting the targets as it is around you, or you're on the zip lines and you're trying to shoot stuff as you go around. I still find that compelling enough to want to still play through it at some point. I understand it's not as for many of us, even for me a bit, not as urgent and compelling to jump to. Otherwise, I probably would have completed the Octo expansion pass by now.
Yeah.
Which I've still
Don't
only
forget,
half done.
Clocked It. Don't forget, playing that mode is a good practice for ink and turf. So they said that.
Yeah, and
They said, by the, yeah,
disagree
they
against
said that, but
Like I said
again,
earlier,
They've always said that about the.
but
single
again,
player, though.
I know you guys make it like again. It's always about like you're gonna take that one line, you're gonna ride and die with it.
I know, but
the end of the
that's my summary
It's
after
never said
Splatoon
that
2.
before.
No, but
Other
that's I
people
think.
have said
But
that.
I think it's important to bring it up because I think that's how, in some aspects, they look at the base
That's
single
how I
player.
feel
for
they
Splatoon.
look at it. I'm not saying
Yeah, that's what.
that-
That's what I'm saying.
Nah,
They-
I don't
they-
agree just for the simple fact that again,
No,
why would
no,
the fuck
look.
would they release DLC for tutorials.
No. Octo expansion, it was them trying to.
That's different.
Yeah, but
trying
Octo
to-
expansion
trying to
felt
take
like
it-
that more than any of the other for me.
I can't directly say
It
anything
felt
because
like
I haven't played it.
oh, you
so-
know the jet. What is that called? From the first.
Squelcher, is it called?
No, where you're hovering and
Yeah,
it's like a special.
That's not just Squelcher.
Yeah.
Shit.
We
You
what
know
you're talking about.
that? Let's put here play this challenge level just using that. Like that's to me just for paying $20 for a whole new single player, and that's what I'm doing. Like it just if I hadn't played the Octo expansion, I wouldn't feel this way because I wasn't feeling this strongly after Splatoon 2. I was like, that was
So
good.
it's my fault. It's my fault
Not
that
as
I gave
good.
you.
Then I played the Octo
No,
expansion,
it's not your fault
and
because
I'm like,
you know what? I didn't even get through the single player on 2. I got so bored.
Damn.
I just gave up on it.
Dude
And it
does.
sucks because like the boss battles are awesome, but
The
the
boss battles
levels
are very
always feel like a slog to me.
Really?
yeah, I felt that in Octo expansion. Like, man, I'm only halfway through this level.
No, I get it. Even when I've played the Splatoon games, the single player games, I haven't stuck with them and played them, as hard as I play a Mario or a Kirby game or something like that. Like, they're still not core fundamentally platform games. They are still fundamentally a third person shooter with some platforming elements in it and stuff. So I can completely understand the tiring and the fatigue of it. But what I disagree against, I don't know if I'm disagreeing against with Nintendo here or what, but when you play these single player games and they say they're building you up for the multiplayer games, the multiplayer games are so fundamentally different to what the single player is. That's why it'd be like someone saying, oh, you should play StarCraft single player before you play StarCraft multiplayer. Trust me, playing StarCraft single player isn't going to help you fuck all when you jump on multiplayer with that game. You'll get your ass.
I would
whooped. You
say,
think, what
though,
the fuck? I played a different game.
I would agree,
I would
too, 'cause it's
disagree
like-
with that with Splatoon because I didn't get the swim in the ink long jump, jumping out of the ink. I didn't get that down till the single player forced me to get it down. Like I didn't in the single player, I couldn't do it. It wasn't until I played. Well, I said in the multiplayer I wasn't doing it. The single player forced you. I died multiple times because they made a jump specifically for that purpose, and I didn't mind it, and it made me better. I think it made me better at the game. I feel like it did. Finishing.
I just feel like the way you say that though is
Well,
like. It's
I'm
like,
just saying
as
they
it's
said
like,
it.
bro, that's the level design. Do you want that? What do you like? Do you think even in some open world type they're gonna make you long jump? Or are you gonna be like, damn, thank you for that. You just taught me now. Like in the end of the day, that's the level design. That's like
I know, but
yeah, they're making
I'm
you do
saying it did.
mechanics
I
in a
was
game
talking
where
about
you,
Clockit.
you know what I'm saying? Like
I
that's
was
the level
countering
design.
Clocktit's point because it actually I felt like it made me better at the multiplayer for Splatoon.
No, it's not.
Call
it's
of
not,
Duty, I don't feel like the
I'm
single
not
player made me
completely
better.
segregating the single player from the multiplayer, but what I'm saying is the multiplayer of Splatoon is
I didn't even
it's
watch
turf
this,
war.
by the way. I haven't seen this before.
I
Oh,
like
deep
Big
cut.
Turn
Man,
the
though.
direct
See
off.
that dude? That dude's big man.
Everybody was on the mental
She's
right.
dumb looking.
I do like they're each
That's bullshit,
they
man.
That's
each
terrible
group
design.
each group rocks a different theme. Like Marina and not Marina.
Hey
Callie
guys,
Marie.
Splatfests are coming back. Big surprise.
I
Oh, the
like
big man though. Big
I've always
man in the
always
middle.
liked that they rock different
Dope.
themes musically.
Well,
though.
here's let me just get back to the whole single player thing. I don't like Call of Duty single player because it's just mindless shooting for the most part. There's been Black Ops 2 had a pretty good one. But Titanfall 2, that single player, I didn't even want to play the multiplayer. Like the single player was great. I just expect, like I said, 5 years since the last game. These guys are supposedly super creative, talented developers. I was hoping with the success of 1 and 2 that maybe they'd have the freedom to do more. In a single player, would it be absurd to make levels where you're not just shooting ink on the ground and swimming through it to get past stuff, like and shooting things? Is there some rule that says you have to have that in your single player of a Splatoon game? Like, I would love to play as Callie Marie or something and do something completely unique. But that's just me. At this point, after 3 single player games that I've played in this franchise, I would be up for something completely different. not every level. I'm just saying mix it up. I'm just done. I'm just like T. I'm bored. I was bored with the Octo expansion, but for the sake of I bought it and I vowed to complete the whatever game was Robert said I would play, and I finished
different
it.
game, yo.
I don't think I would have finished it without that. Because I mean, it was okay. The final area was a cool area. I didn't love the boss fight, but to me, I just expected more. I would hope for more, and I don't think there's anything wrong with thinking this team was capable of more creative ideas than just what we've seen in the past. But who knows? And I hate comparing it to Call of Duty because, like I said, Call of Duty's every year comes out, and like, I don't want this to be like Call of Duty. I want it to be well ahead, So, and we brought up Mario. I'm used to more drastic changes in between installments. So, and
it just may be one of those franchises for them. They don't think it's like a Mario Kart at Smash. They don't think they need the drastic difference.
Well, here's the thing though. Like, if you just if you're not gonna do
that's how they feel.
what we want and give a single player, like this is all you're gonna give for multiplayer, like what 5 new maps and 1 new mode. Like that's not great either. It'd be one thing. It's like, oh man, they spent all their time with the multiplayer. They got all these new maps, all these new weapons. It's crazy, all these new modes.
Yeah,
but they didn't do that either.
Just think about
this.
Like 5 years.
Everything hasn't come back. I think
it's been 5 years.
Most weapons have come back.
They're launching with only 5 new maps. After 5 frickin' years, you get
1 map a year, bro.
One for each year.
And I'm sure there's plenty more that are finished or near finished that they're within 2 weeks you're gonna have 2 new maps or a map.
Yeah, probably.
That's
we still on that. We still doing this Wii U shit.
So
come on.
I don't know. If that's
and then the
extensive
DLC. What was the other large scale DLC? Like
it's
you didn't even do large scale for the actual new game you're paying $60 for. Why would I think you're gonna do large scale for the DLC? I don't. Is that where Splatoon 3 really is gonna exist? Is this large scale DLC? Like,
well, they might, and that would actually make me a little angry.
No, but I think I think what it is gonna be more single player, man. Because the way
they showed a silhouette. If you saw
the silhouette is of
Pearl Marina.
Yeah, so that's gonna be. Think about it. The single player for Splatoon 3 right now is Callie Marie. Single player DLC will be of them.
Imagine they play. Maybe they play completely different.
I don't know what it will be. I don't know what it will be, but it's gonna be something like that. I think that's my
maybe Pearl fights people with rapping. She has like a mic and a speaker, and it sends out a shockwave, and that's how she hurts people.
I really don't think you're gonna get. I don't think you're gonna get playing as them. I just think they're in the campaign.
Yeah, see, why not? Why not play as them?
I know I get you, but I don't think so. That's just I don't think it's gonna happen. That's just my prediction.
And I get it, like Mario Kart. You're not gonna get a new Mario Kart with anything other than the cups where you get the 3 star. Is it 3 stars or 3 coins? Whatever. You gotta to get you gotta beat every cup, first place.
4 cups.
And you get like 3 stars, I think. I want to say it's stars.
Yeah, 3 stars.
If you get first in every race, you get 3. If you get first in 3 of the races and not in the last, you get 2 stars. To me,
oh right, I wonder what you talk about.
To me, that's
like everyone was lost.
That's the single player, if you will, the Grand Prix. But that's how a racing game is about learning the tracks. I mean, other than
150, and 200cc.
I don't know if I would agree. I would argue the single player they backed away from it, and that was mission mode and marker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I get it that they don't do drastic things for Mario Kart series, but that is why, go back to this old debate, I don't think it really was that much of a debate. I don't need multiple entries of the same franchise on the same console. I just don't. Unless it's like Mario 3D Mario where they do something really different. To me, that's like...
Or like a Galaxy 2.
We're getting 3
super expanding.
And that was an exception.
2 games in 7-8 years, and I can't get a Star Fox.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, no.
I can't get...
And let's talk about...
You can get you a Star Fox in here.
In the levels, there's 5 new levels. In the levels, it's this, like, that's the problem with shooters and especially Splatoon, where every level's got to be symmetrical. is it's just every level's, you know,
Hell,
a
3
mirror of
Xenoblade
the other
games on one
side,
system.
and it's just
Yeah.
like
Okay.
there's really
yeah.
not a lot of variety in the
Opposite.
actual levels anyway. So it's like, what
Well,
is a
I
new
still
level?
think why can't they have the level structured like have like I saw Retro saying, and I agree where you have buildings, so you get building inside of a mall or something. I don't know, and you have different floors, different rooms. Like, why does it have to be outside? You know what I mean? Like, they're all similar. Like, you can have similar structure, but you could have an actual, mall, and splat up a mall. It'd be more different design, different themes that way.
Yeah,
didn't
you
the
know?
first,
I
didn't
will.
the
I will
first,
take.
didn't,
I will take
did-
multiple entries of any series in a generation. I don't give a shit. Just as long as the games are good. That's all I
Not
want.
when they're this similar.
Well, not when they're
Yeah,
similar.
this is
that's
an
why,
example.
That's why I got bored of Gears of War. You had 3
Right.
Gears of fucking War in the Xbox 360,
And Judgment.
and they all.
Remember, you also had
And,
Judgment.
oh, you had 4. You had
Yeah,
Judgment.
there's 4
Yeah,
of
I was
them.
bored
And they
by
were all
3
pretty
as
much
well.
the same. At least this is where I actually argue where at least Halo had Halo 3. Then you had ODST, which had a completely different vibe. Then you had Reach, which was kind of still different, but more of the same. So Halo hung on a little bit, and I can go back to like the Prince of Persia trilogy. You had Sands of Time, Warrior Within, and the Two Thrones. So I fucking love those games. They all had different stories. They carry the same character over. They're all great. I'll take like with Xenoblade with Fire Emblem. I think it just becomes if fatigue sets in is what T says it. If it fundamentally feels too similar, and you're playing just the same thing over and over, then yeah, fatigue sets in, and that's when you had everything. You could say, fine, stop now, just give it a break.
Yeah, I
Give it
would
a
say
rest.
a story-based game, I'm fine with it. But when it's gameplay mechanic, focus
multiplayer.
game, like I love Mario Kart. I don't need Mario Kart 9 and 10 on the Switch too. I only need the one. I needed a new one this generation, but we didn't get it, and that took a lot of the steam out of or wind out of the sails of what that DLC. I would have probably been completely different about this DLC from Tour, the Tour DLC that they're putting out, if it was for Mario Kart 9 on top of everything else, all new tracks. For me, a new track in a racing game is significantly better than a new map in a shooter. It just is. That's since Call of Duty, since I started playing Modern Warfare 2, new maps, other than if there's just a bad layout with a lot of camping or they're too big and you never see anybody. A map can be bad, it can be good, but a good track in a racing game adds way more than a map does in a shooting game. So
I would disagree.
on
with
top
that,
of everything
personally.
else, I'm just been fatigued on shooters since like Black Ops 2 was the last one I really got fully into, and so
I think a good map for a shooter can immensely increase the enjoyment.
Yeah,
of
because
the game.
Really?
I was gonna say I love the map packs, and I always
what's a
Black
good
Ops 1 was
map
my
in
favorite.
Splatoon 2? Like a really good map, you think?
Well, I did not play Splatoon nearly.
There
I
was
played
one where the
single
water
player.
level
I can't remember
raised.
what maps are
No,
actually
you're talking
Splatoon 2's
about
maps.
Mahi Mahi Resort, which is in this game.
Yeah, they brought that back.
Mahi was
Yeah,
nice,
that was a pretty good map because that had
They-
more dynamic
I'll give
element to it.
the old maps they picked were at least maps that like most people
Skate park.
either because the problem was either they showed up way later in the game they came out in, or they've changed something about them. Like the bridge level was like undone. Like the whole premise of that bridge in the original game is that it was unfinished. But if you notice in this one, it's actually a finished area. So
Yeah, I like that.
So
I do like that.
I fuck with like aesthetic changes and
The
stuff.
lore, man, the lore.
Let's just
Yeah,
talk
well,
about
well,
how
and it's
lore.
well then it's cool. Then it's cool because of the whole I can swim up walls and shit. So having fully fledged walls instead of these like weird, like half finished walls because the bridge wasn't done means that I now have more traversal options.
Or even during the Splatfest in Splatoon 2, what was the special stage called where the floors were moving?
Oh, that's right. I
Oh!
do like that. That was cool.
that,
I know what
those
you're
were
talking about.
cool. Those were.
But why
So,
they
you
only
know,
for
what you-
Splatfest, man?
something
Why they
different.
only for
That's what you
Splatfest? That makes
need
no
for
sense.
that's what you need
But
for
that's kind of what
Splatoon.
ma-
Splatoon
that's kind
needs
of-
to
that's kind of what you
evolve with
wanted,
its
though.
mechanics and stuff. When you do have these stationary stages
That's
and you're
why,
just
yeah.
swimming up crates and stuff, then Yeah, you're just doing a regular.
And I'll
And
give
it's
them
all
credit.
and it's all mirrored. They're both sides are identical. There's hardly any
Well,
change.
also the same thing with like right now they have the 3-team
station.
battle for Splatfest, right? The 3-team.
Mhm.
That should just be a mode, man. Just make that a mode.
Why won't they just do a freaking splat or death mode, whatever, team deathmatch? Why won't they just do one based on you still use your ink to get around, but just whoever splats
normal team deathmatch
like
splat?
you tell me that wouldn't be
splat match.
popular?
It's called splat match. It would be
Probably more popular than Turf War.
it would be the most popular. It'd be the most popular.
Like
Because
I
people
don't
just like
know.
to shoot people. Murder.
And I
Yes,
wanted we're
man.
talking about stages. I want to
you go
mention
to
the
Turf
worst.
War, that's all
Splatoon
people
stage.
No,
do
you
anyways.
remember we were think about it. Everyone loves murder. Like again, in the end of the day, fucking.
Oh, no, 100%. 100%.
Think about
Some of the best moments.
last week with fucking
The best moments
Xenoblade.
is killing
These
people.
dudes just be going to animals and killing them. That's all you do in these damn
Anger.
games.
Let me just
What
Off
game
with
does
their
not
heads.
just kill
Off with their
everything? You know.
I
Other
do
than Animal
like what
Crossing.
Splatoon does. I think we still have to
Love
remember
what it does.
it's one of the most unique shooters that we've ever had. There's nothing else like it, and I still love it
One of
for
my
that.
favorite shooters in the last
Which is
10,
why
15
Splatoon
years.
which is why Splatoon 3 will still be fucking great. It'll still be great fun. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
that
gonna be great fun.
Yeah, it's just that
Worst
all we're
Splatoon
saying
map
is,
of
you know,
all
just
time
let's-
right here.
I'm not taking anything away from the mechanics of
Wait,
Splatoon at
which
all. I love
one?
Yeah.
Wendy's? Wendy's is the worst Splatoon,
Yeah.
man. That's crazy, man.
Right here.
Say
Wait, what?
Worst Splatoon map right here.
You know,
I
the
hate
funny
this
thing is,
fucking stage.
I actually love the stage in Splatoon a lot.
no, yeah, the
Oh,
one in
yeah,
I
this
actually like this
stage
one.
is
That's
Splatoon,
more
Yeah,
that's
but
more
in
eight
Smash,
towers, right?
it's the
fucking
worst
brilliant.
It's more
Smash
eight towers or
stage.
something?
It's trash.
It's a terrible Smash stage, but it's fun hell.
Because they had to kind of like flatify it.
So, final thoughts for me is I just feel like this was way too safe.
Sucks. Everything sucks.
The few things they added, I mean, literally Call of Duty was doing 13, 14 years ago with the replays and your little tag. You can customize
Yeah,
your tag.
I
That
unfortunately
was so
thought
weird
that.
to see that. Like, you were touting that like it was some new privileged
Yeah.
That was
thing.
in
I'm
like
bro,
Black Ops 1. You
Black Ops
know?
1.
That's weird. That's weird.
No, it was in Modern Warfare 2 also.
Well, the replays, I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah,
were
it
Black
was in
Ops
Modern
1.
Warfare 2.
I think replays started in Black Ops 1. Not mad at it, but it's just like, yeah, it's, you know, finally.
It was just
Give-
weird to see them touting
A game like this
oh,
just screams for way more customization of your character too. Instead of the
What's good-
limited hair option. I mean, I still feel like there could be 100 hairstyles. You know, like why is there only 6? Whatever there is.
Yeah.
In what, Splatoon?
Mm-hmm.
3. I think it's quite a few this time, isn't it? So
There's
Yeah.
new ones,
yeah.
but
I saw afros and everything.
I'm talking about the first 2 games. You had like
dreadlock.
4 to
He's
6.
gonna be out here looking like Don King.
There's no reason not to have 100 hairstyles, you know, like there's no reason not to have way more customization because it's such a unique your character is like
What I think the core, what juices the biggest problem that Splatoon will have, Splatoon 3 will have is that all those Splatoon is unique and it sticks out because of the kind of. It's also in a genre that has a fuck ton of oversaturation. So like.
Yeah.
Every little thing it's missing is very, very apparent, especially if you're someone who played shooters a lot. Granted, Juice, you've already openly admitted you played shooters a lot, and I haven't played shooters nearly as much. So, like, some of this shit doesn't bother me, but that's also because I didn't play as many as you. I actually hate that genre for a while. So,
Would you say Splatoon is your favorite shooter?
yeah, by default.
By
Yeah,
default.
probably. By default, because I don't play shooters like that. It's my only
Actually,
other.
what is the last shooter you played, yo?
I don't play a lot of shooters either. So
Mag was like the last.
Can we just get the terminology right? Yeah, that either
You remember
first-person
Mag? Mag
shooters-
was on the PS3.
they're either first-person
Yeah, PS3.
shooters or they're third-person shooters.
It was a good game,
Right,
but it
shooters
fucking,
are old school, fucking vertical, top-down shoot 'em ups. Those are shooters.
or
Right?
shmups,
Right.
as someone called it.
First person or
Shmups.
third person shooter.
You're
Do it.
such
I
a
know. Well, it's
shmup.
funny because I remember asking you what's your favorite shooter, and you started bringing up
Third
shoot 'em ups,
person
and I was like, oh, I meant
Ikaruga.
first person shooter.
Did I?
And he's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, my
Radius
bad.
3, motherfucker. That's my favorite shooter.
Yeah.
I mean, look, my favorite shooter of all time, it'd either be Black Ops 1 or Splatoon 1. Man.
Robert.
Splatoon 1 was I
Robert.
played so much Splatoon 1. Yep.
Hold on, I gotta make sure it
GoldenEye
doesn't give the title.
007.
I'm gonna show you a map from Call of Duty. I want you to see if you can guess
Oh.
what game it's
Oh
from.
god, but is it from one I know? Like which game? Oh, I guess
I
I
would
can't.
hope-
You can't
I
say.
would-
You
I
gotta
would
tell
hope
me
it-
the game.
It was
Alright,
you're
let's see.
telling him.
I'm
Let's
waiting.
see,
I gotta get into the.
Oh
This-
boy.
This is some
Call of
disrespectful
Duty.
shit.
Can you tell me the answer?
If it's Black Ops 1, I got this. No, not Summit, not Summit. This is no, wait. Yeah, this is Summit.
From what game?
Black Ops 1.
I don't know what the. I didn't see. It didn't have the name of the map.
Wait, shit, no, hold on. Is it called Array? Fuck. Hold on. I think it's either Array or Summit. No, it's Array. It's Array. A-A-R-R-A-Y. Array.
Yeah, array.
I do not remember this map.
Yeah, Black Ops 1, man.
Summit's
You could
Black
put any
Ops
map
2,
for Black
isn't
Ops
it?
1, I'll know. Because it's the main game that I played most.
I gotta see more of this. Where's the?
This is the satellite there.
You look at this boring ass shit, and you're
I
more.
don't-
No, come on.
No,
This is a-
I like
this is a
Summit.
great Call of Duty.
Summit's-
Fuck outta
I do
here.
not remember this map. Was this DLC?
I don't remember this shit.
No,
at all.
this is on the base game. This is in the base game.
Dude, this does not look even remotely familiar.
Bro, you could put any Call of Duty map for Black
This
Ops
is
1
not.
and
This
I'll know 'em.
was DLC. Tell
No,
me.
this was main No, this was
No.
main game, bro. This
I
was
don't
main
believe
game.
it.
I promise you.
What is this
promise you.
weird? What is this weird disagreement
I was
going
playing
on?
this.
I don't
I was playing this
recognize-
on my Steam Deck, bro.
No, I disagree.
Guys,
I don't
it's-
recognize a single aspect of this map.
Team Juice,
Oh,
the Team Robert, put in your votes
this is
now.
7-Eye from GoldenEye. This is 7-Eye from
Are you a
GoldenEye.
Team Juice or Team
See,
Robert?
okay,
Put
so
in
why
your
can't they have a
votes.
map like this in Splatoon though? Is what I'm saying. Like a
With
big,
guns?
large map
Oh.
like this with like you can have the same identical, but you have indoor interiors. You could have, you know what I'm saying?
All right, let me go back to the beginning. They said the name, I think.
I think really, you know what?
It's
would
Array.
help
It's
with-
Array.
You know what it helps Splatoon a lot?
promise you.
I think
It
yeah,
is.
It is Array. It is Array.
It's a DLC though.
I'm telling you, you can show
Telling you.
any Black Ops 1 map. I'll know. Once you start Black Ops 2, I'll probably know. Oh, that's Havana. That's like once you start to get like
This one looks familiar.
yeah, it's Havana. It's got the
I guess
whole.
this is all. I guess this is indeed.
Havana.
You hear the little singing in the background.
Fucking comedians. Is what you are.
But once you start
I
bringing up
remember
like later the
Fire
Black
Range.
Ops
I
2, I'm
remember
already
Fire
forgetting
Range.
I know
that
this
game.
map.
But I could see Robert's point. If Splatoon 3 had more like indoor / outdoor maps,
That'd be
and there's
cool.
I think the one that kind of does that is Kelp Dome, because Kelp Dome has a couple areas
Kelp
where
Domes. I like Kelp Dome.
Yes.
where you're kind of like you're in.
God,
it's
this
like
is
it's
my
like
most played Call of Duty.
it's
I
like a
don't even
it's like a
recognize.
maze almost in some aspects.
Yeah.
The symmetricalness of it, you know what they really need to do for the Rainmaker and like Splat Zone stages? Just create unique maps for those stages. Because the problem is that they use the same maps in the multiplayer as they use for those stages. And I'm like, it would help those stages more if they had their own custom maps because they don't work the same.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think that really would have helped actually a lot. Just make fucking like
Black Ops 2 also is good, man.
like
There's
in
a lot of-
Moray Towers, instead of it just being 2 towers, there's actually like a fucking there's like a dome in the middle, and that's where the Rainmaker is supposed to go.
I wonder.
But
if
there's
the
like-
name.
this is
there's like-
definitely
there's like-
It's
there's
not
DLC
it's not a
map.
DLC map, bro. It's not a DLC map. It's on the main fucking page. Array and Havana are not DLC maps. Because I remember buying
remember
it. I promise you
Jungle.
didn't buy. You bought it because it was on the base game, but
I
it's
remember
not. You didn't
Jungle.
buy it for
I
DLC.
remember Firing Range.
This is the
Fi-
weirdest.
yeah, Fire-
I've seen, dog.
Nuketown.
It's a weird disagreement, man.
I know.
Dude,
I
just
don't know
look
what's
it
going
up.
on anymore.
Like,
This is a good.
Hey,
map.
bro. Hey, bro, man.
this is. I also like Black Ops 2 a lot, man. Black Ops 2 is also really solid. After I didn't really play too much of Black Ops 3, but Black Ops 2 is really good.
I've never played Black Ops 3, and I have it.
It's, I
of
mean,
PlayStation
it's
Plus.
still, competent shooter, but like in terms of the actual, it's not as memorable.
But anyway, who's picking up Splatoon 3 on launch?
I don't think I'll pick up at launch.
Nah, launch.
Since I got too
especially-
many games to play.
My kids
I'm-
won't forgive me, so I'll probably be good.
Right now, it's I'm a chill. I'm Gucci.
So with my plan of beating
Really?
Xenoblade before I
But I'll
play
be-
3,
I thought me and Sid's probably the only curmudgeons.
I won't be
No,
playing 3 until like November probably.
What about Bale 3, man? You gonna pick up Bale 3?
A lot of threes, man.
Well,
Got
it's
Bale
gonna take
3?
me a while to get through Xenoblade, I think.
So you just gonna let Bayo 3 just chill, man?
Let's see, what
Yeah,
is it?
fuck that.
August, September,
Which
October.
three?
I'll probably be playing
Taking too long.
Xenoblade 3.
You best put that shit on easy mode and just run up that fucking file already and
Because I know if I play 3, I
get
don't
to
think
them
I'd
hips,
ever go back to
show the
1.
bone.
I don't think I could ever go back.
Yeah, but the problem with 1 is long, dude. I had to.
Dude, you based off where you
Is it-
said you were, you're in the fucking tutorial, man. You haven't fucking left anywhere.
Jesus Christ.
He hasn't.
I don't know why you want to play
he's-
one so bad when you
He's
need
gone.
like,
He's gone over Gower Plain. He hasn't gone anywhere.
That
He's
is
gone over
true.
Gower
I
Plain.
mean,
You haven't gone anywhere.
You might as well
Game's
just play 3, man.
80 hours. Robert probably tell us how long it takes to beat Xenoblade.
What, Xenoblade 1?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you right now.
It's like somewhere between 70. It's got to be 70 to 80 hours. I think.
No, I know. Look, that's a stretch. That's if you do a bunch of other shit. But like,
Wait, what do you think? Oh, if you think you speed run?
Yeah, you ain't
no,
speed running
not
this
speed
game.
running, just fucking
You
playing
have to
it normally.
grind. This is old
It's
JRPG.
So the definitive edition, on average, the main story, to just do the main story is 50.5 hours. Main plus extra, which is I'm guessing do some side content, is 77.5.
Just say-
I'm-
I thought you
What?
said 15. I was like, what
55.
the
No, no, no.
You
50
gotta.
55,
50 and a half, 50 and
I
a
don't know
half.
how. I don't know how the hell you doing it in 50.
I don't know
and a
how
half.
you complete that game
Well,
in 50
like
hours.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2, right? What do you think is the main story? What do you think? How do you
Beeline
feel?
to that
How do you
bitch.
feel?
I would
exactly.
I would say
Hey.
65 minimum.
Yeah, I would say 60 to 70. That's what I would say.
Easy.
Okay,
Yeah,
well then yeah,
I would
it's
say
60,
70,
63 and a half, which
If
took me a little
If
longer.
you spend
Took me a little
50 hours on Xenoblade 1, turn that shit off and just watch every fucking cutscene on YouTube because you might as well not play the game.
Bro, what? That makes no
Yeah,
sense.
no way.
Come on, man. That makes no fucking
What are you doing? What are you doing? You just run into some bosses.
Yeah, but you
Run
gotta.
into another boss. What the fuck?
You can't
you're
fight
not
some boss.
exploring, You're not doing side quests.
You can't be
Damn.
under leveled either.
You're not collecting anything. You're not doing
I
fucking
just
anything.
can we
Man, but if
can
the
we
side quest is
can
just
we
fucking
get a-
picking up shit.
can I get an audio
And
clip?
watch it on
But-
YouTube.
Can I get
But if you're not
audio clip?
grinding,
Yeah,
you're
man,
not gonna
like, what
beat
the
those bosses under leveled. That's the thing. You gotta grind.
Yeah,
Actually,
though,
Xenoblade 1 punishes you
Oh,
for being
man.
under level 2.
Yo,
That's
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
That
when
was
you, when you
so
get to
raw.
the final boss, when you get to
You'll
the
be-
final boss,
you'll
he's a
be
fixed,
dead.
He's
You'll
a
be
fixed
dead.
level. He's a fixed level, and he will fuck you up if you don't get to him. in
We'll
the
fuck
right
your shit all up.
Man, look, the only
I don't
thing
get
is,
my
I think-
ass whooped
I
by
think
no
just,
enemies right now. Fuck
It's
this,
just like
man.
with the
And you can be looking for.
You need to
Triforce
just
shards
forget
and
that
stuff.
time, that basic the first time, and just go to the plus extras being like the rule of thumb.
like main plus extra.
Because
Yeah, it's a.
I mean,
It works for. I think it works for non-RPGs. I don't think it works for like RPGs. though.
Yeah,
No,
for
no.
an
I mean, it works
RPG.
for like again. I finished Xenoblade in like 65 hours, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 says 63 and a half, so it's around the same time for me at least. For me, at
what
least.
I
he's
didn't
doing.
even
I
get to
don't-
the
I don't know what
final
he's doing.
tutorial till
Is
80.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
I
I'm
just
playing
like-
a fucking game.
I
Man,
just-
fuck
I just-
you. I just spent 63
I
fucking
just-
hours of my life into the game.
I just like I like the conception that fucking clocked. It was like turn that shit off.
I don't. I just,
Just
Yeah,
turn
yeah,
this
And
shit
watch
off.
it on YouTube.
I don't know how you
Well,
beat
that's why,
that
like,
final boss without grinding more.
I know you have the main story. I know you have the main story, and that
Oh,
is
Jesus.
the main story. But you're playing an adventure game, right? You're playing a role-playing
Yeah.
game.
50 fucking hours of it. Fucking spending over 2 days of your entire life on the goddamn shit.
You
dude.
don't go on an adventure where you just listen to what the fuck they're telling you to do, right? You go off the beaten path and you explore, right? And you do shit.
Look,
Right,
man,
you don't
if
go
I'm
from
on
A
the
to
road
B,
for
you don't
fucking
go from
50 hours and I'm done with it, I'm done with it, bro. I'm 50 fucking hours into my life.
To
I'm
be fair,
"Oh,
Play R-
I
you have
just
to
play
be
did
the
it."
fair,
RPG.
no. To be fair, most mainline Final Fantasies are done around 50 to 60 hours. So Xenoblade,
Let's see.
most
I think-
main.
How long did it
the
take you to beat 6, yo?
I'm on
Those
the
games
phone.
aren't fucking
I-
giant
It took
I-
me
I-
longer. It
world.
took me
Alright.
longer.
I didn't
No,
even
no,
get
no.
the last tutorial in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 till I was 80 hours in the game. When
Alright,
it gave me the
that's because
last
no,
new
but
mechanic.
Xenoblade 2 is bad.
I mean,
with
that's
tutorials.
just a Xenoblade for you. Fucking
Yeah,
oh,
Yeah,
Xenoblade
but that was
2
80,
that
so
was-
you got that at like hour 50.
That's
No,
I
because
don't know how
I
you were
mean-
beating some of those bosses
65.
without
well,
having leveled your ass way up. Like I was.
No,
So
but
to give-
again,
I'm not talking
also
about
to
other
give- also to be-
JRPGs. I'm not talking about other RPGs. I'm specifically talking about Xenoblade Chronicles 1
the first one.
Dude.
The first one.
and
Okay.
3, right?
To be
And-
fair though, it's because you love them so much. So there's gonna be a lot of those where.
So
where
what does
like,
that mean?
yo,
You
I
didn't
love
enjoy the
doing-
game?
No,
Well,
no, 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 no. What I'm saying is that it's like I can't like for me like with like Yakuza like a dragon, right?
if you get
I
to
played-
Magna Forest, if you get to Magna Forest and you see that waterfall and think, oh man, I just gotta go over there. I just gotta get to that waterfall. And then you don't go over there, then you're not playing Xenoblade.
Okay,
right?
but so
You'll carry on running down the path until you get to the fucking crosshair, and then you get your cutscene. You go, oh, cool, new cutscene, and then you go see your little fucking no porn friends. You're like, oh, these guys are fucking cool. Where do I go next? And then you carry on. You are not playing Xenoblade.
you're only
Yo!
thinking like you're playing Xenoblade. You're
Somebody
only
remind me. Does
You
2
gotta
have
chill
the
out, bro.
does 2
You
have
gotta
the
chill
thing
out.
on the map where it shows you where to go constantly, like in 1 does?
Wait, what?
Where it has
I
like
don't
the little
remember.
dotted line telling you exactly where to go for the
No.
next story.
Oh,
No.
Xenoblade 3 or
2,
in Xenoblade 2, no.
because that's
No.
the
Remember,
one.
it only had like a
It's in definitive edition.
like a
isn't it?
marker or some shit.
Yeah,
but
because
it
I'm
wasn't
like beelining it, and I was like, well, I want to go over here. It's telling me to go here, but I want to go up that hill there. So I go up
Yeah.
the hill.
There's
Which you
nothing.
can.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping you from going up the hill.
Well,
That's what I'm
I will
saying.
say something
I don't like
something
that line.
Yakuza, right?
Column.
Something
They
like
do, the,
Yakuza,
they do
like
the
Dragon.
line. They do the line for the casual who's like, I don't know where to go, because
Yeah.
that's just modern gameplay issues. That's the reason why open world games got so homogenized in the first place. Because people were like, I don't know where to go, I don't know what to do, and it's like, well, fuck. All right, I guess we'll
That's
put
the
a dot
point.
here.
You're supposed to figure out what to do.
that's why everyone loves Zelda again, because just like,
Yeah, that's the
okay,
reason why
I'll
Breath
just
of
go wherever
Wild.
the fuck I want.
Well, I will say though that like with Yakuza Like a Dragon, right? That game is on average to beat the main story is 45 hours apparently. I finished it in like 70 to 80 hours or something like that.
We know
And
why.
that's because I did
You
it
love
like
that game,
almost
that's
all
right.
the single exactly because I love it. But
Yeah.
I can't imagine someone playing only 45 hours. How dare they only play 2 days worth of the lives of the damn game? I can't believe it.
Yeah, I think though, Robert,
Play my game, I love, damn you.
Play the game that I love, you bastard.
I'm old enough to be your father, and this is some advice I'd give you.
Whoa! Don't do that.
wait,
Oh,
this is some advice.
Wait a
Hey, listen
minute.
up good now, boy.
Do it again, Rob. What was I like? What was I like?
I think you need to.
Play the game that I love, you bastard. Please.
I think you need to erase these lines you have drawn for rules you have about. Well, it's if I beat the main story, I beat the game. Okay, that's fine, but you don't have to live by that for almost every game you play. You live by that rule.
I don't. No, it's the same thing.
And
that
just
I
enjoy the
played
game.
I enjoyed the game. Yes, that's it. If I enjoy the game, I played and I beat it. I beat it to the credits. If I want to play more, I'll play more. If not, I continue, man, and move on with life. And I just enjoy. And I go on to the next game, see what it is.
Oh, you
Just
could
saying,
be.
you don't have to live that. You don't have to
better
have
by
that.
getting
What
Epona
do you want me
or
to do
playing
then? You
Link to
just
the
want me
Past,
to
you
not
know what I
play
mean?
as many
I'm
games?
saying-
As you
Just quit focusing on
Got
getting
some
to
of
the
that
next
trash.
game
Robert, this
And-
Yeah, cut out some of that trash, Rob.
and
You
just
might
draw
not
on
be
this
playing
line.
it.
Hey, I got to the end credits. I'm
Man,
done with the game.
playing. Listen, I don't want to hear shit. I'm about to finish my 40th game. Fuck out of here. No one can talk shit to me. I don't give a fuck.
I'm saying that's part of the problem.
Talk your
That's not
shit.
the-
I'm not even mad at him.
Problem that I've been
I'm not
playing
even
every
mad.
fucking
He's
game,
about to
experiencing a
about
bunch
to
of
But
shit.
compete.
so what you're saying is you bought that quantity, not the quality.
Nope,
I see.
nope. Because I'm still
Oh.
playing the quality, and I'm putting in the games that I love. I'm putting 70 hours into Yakuza. I'm putting 50 hours into Hades. I'm putting a ton into Cyberpunk.
The other
Hey,
aspect of this
listen,
is
he's got Mass Effect now. He's off clean. All right, he's cool now. Yeah, he's
The other
one
side
guys.
of this-
I like how that's
if you're
that's
playing a
also
game you
good.
don't enjoy.
Oh no! Wait!
Just
If you
put it
tell me
away.
you got 10 hours in Mass Effect right when you completed it, don't fucking.
No,
tell me, man.
no. I'm still not done with it. I'm still.
You're playing the
I'm almost
medium,
done.
and you're like, you know what? This game's just not doing it for me. Just go on to the next game. You don't
Yeah,
have
but
to
it's
beat
not-
it. You don't have to finish it.
Not as the
Oh my
time is too
God.
precious to be
I
wasted
agree, which is
on
why.
the Crow
which is-
City of Angels. If I see you
Don't
play
get me
that
wrong.
shit,
Don't get me wrong.
you
But I
guys-
like
Jesus
experiencing stuff that is varying degrees of quality. You know, whether it be really good,
Oh my
great,
goodness.
okay, this shit is bad. You know, blah blah.
I
Yeah,
will
I
say
like
you've come a long way since going to see The
bet.
Force Awakens 17 times in the theater
Nukem
instead of
Forever or
16
some
other movies you could have went and seen.
That was a weird.
I'll never forgive
waste
you
of
for
money.
that, other than you're too young to know any better.
Hey man, to
That's
be
not-
fair though,
no,
I did.
I didn't waste my
the
money
problem-
like that.
The
The
thing
fuck?
is, that, the thing
Hey,
is though,
I can't hate on
watched.
Rob. Hey, I went and saw Phantom Menace 3 times in the theater. I can't.
But
16
I
ain't the
hate
same
you.
as 3 though.
but
I
the thing is,
I know, but
I saw that
you
many
even have
times
the
in Force
money.
Awakens, but I also saw a bunch of other movies.
Well, back then you weren't watching as many as you are now, like different movies.
Nah, man, I'm telling you. Well, maybe not 2015 exactly, but like say once I hit like 2017, I still haven't been able to watch them. I don't know how I used to do it, man. I used to go to movies like every
We're
other
like,
day.
dude, watch Lord of the Rings. That's 3
see,
Force of the
Ayers know what I'm talking about.
Force Awakens, or 4.
Stay away from that shit. Do not go anywhere near that goddamn game. If I see that in the back to the back, I'm going.
No,
But,
I don't have that on my. I don't have that on my wish list. I don't have that on my wish
Yeah,
list.
he's gonna be
Please don't.
playing
Back,
fucking
I gotta
Mortal
go back to the back of
Kombat,
the whoopside your head.
Rogue
that's it.
Corps, or whatever it's called.
Rogue Special Forces.
Special Forces.
Well, I will say, so
Oh
something
my
like this game,
God.
right? I'm like, I recorded a video, another pickup video, right? And I talk about this game. I'm like, well, I'll probably just play like the story mode, check out some of the modes, and then I don't think I'm gonna play too much on the online, but I want to actually experience the game at least. And I find out that the story mode of to Guilty Gear is just cutscenes. There's a movie, and it's just there's no gameplay. It's just a movie. I'm like, all right, well then I'm just gonna play the other mission modes.
You're too
checked.
used to Mortal Kombat.
Checked.
That does not count.
Game's
to me, that does not
finished.
count
Checked. I
towards,
saw
like,
the credits.
I'm
Checked.
definitely not counting that towards like a finishing or anything. So that's just I'm gonna play like I don't know.
Something a fighting game is evergreen, man. You can't.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm gonna play the mission modes. I want to see how the characters work, all that, and play that, and then see
Beat it
what I
with
think about
everybody.
it. Beat the arcade mode with all the characters maybe or something. I don't know.
40 games
Yeah.
this year, and he still hasn't played Link to the Past. It's just like, fuck.
I don't want him to play it. I honestly
He
don't
hasn't
want
played
you
Link
to
to the
play it.
Past ever, like at all.
Oh man.
Hey man, it's gonna happen one day, right? So.
This has
Well,
been my
Rob.
And I
favorite.
will say,
want-
Perfect Dark. I was thinking about Perfect Dark Zero the other day because the reason I played Perfect Dark Zero that day was because that game came out in 2020 or whatever, and I wanted it to be like, oh, I played a game of 2020 in 2020. That's so cool.
Mhm.
And I forgot that when I randomly generated the list, the game right after that was picked was the original Perfect Dark, but I removed it because I'm already playing Perfect Dark that season. So I would have, if it wasn't for the whole 2020 pick, I would have already played the original Perfect Dark over Perfect Dark Zero.
I don't
I'm
even
sure that
care
hurts your
anymore.
soul.
I don't even care anymore. You've done fucked up. See you later.
So what's the equivalent in the Link to the Past? What's the equivalent of not getting Epona? What's that in the Link to the Past? I don't think there's really a moment like that, or
Somehow he probably won't get the Master Sword. Somehow you'll do it.
or he won't
You know.
upgrade it. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah, that's
forget
right.
about
I
that.
love getting that
I just want to
bronze
open.
looking gold looking sword.
I just want to openly say this has probably been my favorite podcast for Robert and Clocked It. Good God, y'all are on the fucking ball for no good reason.
I love my
To
boy.
be
man.
fair
I
though,
love it.
you pointed fingers at me. Terrell's got to play A Link to the Past too. And stuff.
That's what they did. You need to chill out, bro.
I got to point fingers at
See
you.
what I mean?
Don't
He's
point
quiet.
fingers
The
at me.
difference is Terrell ain't trying to play 40 games, 50, 60, 70 games a year.
I'm a realist. I'm a realist. Goddamn it.
He ain't playing Mortal Kombat.
He
Special
did play
fucking Heroes, bro.
Metroid Zero Mission and
He
Super
did.
Metroid.
He did.
Hey, I
Yeah.
played all 3 Metroid Primes though.
Well, listen. I was working my way up. Okay.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the trilogy to come out. I'm waiting for the HD trilogy to
It's
come
not gonna
out.
be as good. Play it on the
We
Wii.
waiting on Switch
Wii U,
Pro for that
so you
shit.
can play with the Wii remote.
No. Then I gotta pull out the
Nice.
console again.
Play with the Wii
You
remote.
still got to
man.
get the Wii out to play African Safari, so you might as
The
well.
Wii
That's
U?
true.
Play it on the Wii U?
Yeah, play on the Wii U so you can play
Can
with
we-
the Wii
can
remote,
we-
bro.
You
y'all-
didn't buy the $10
And y'all
version that Nintendo put
y'all
out?
listen.
That shit was
So
$10,
let
bro.
me
Listen.
get on eBay here. Let me see the
Listen.
Metroid
And
Prime
to
trilogy.
be fair though, that's why, like,
Listen.
always get it on my damn back. But at the end of the day, I this year alone, I beat Grand Theft Auto 3, fucking Final Fantasy 6, Jack and Daxter, the first one, Mass Effect now, Ocarina of Time, all these classics. And my mother's like, wait, but what about this one? What about this one? It's like, eventually, goddammit, I will get to it. I will get there. So it's not like I'm
You
like,
have played some good shit.
you know what I'm saying? And it's not like I'm not rushing to it because to be fair, like even like Ocarina of Time took me longer than the normal main the main
I
the
imagine.
average playtime.
All right, here you go, right here.
You
66
still
bucks.
didn't go Poe
Metroid
hunting?
Prime trilogy
And I still
for the
didn't
Wii.
get one of them. It took me
Excellent
longer,
condition.
dude. Took me long. I rode her in the ranch, but I
In
didn't
the
take.
farm, yeah.
I didn't take.
Not
I rode her. I'm like,
He doesn't even know the song probably. Mr.
Well, no, I know I know the
Yeah,
song.
can you? Yeah, go
Hum
on.
the
Let's
song.
let's hear.
No.
the song.
I
Do
know
Poe
the
the
song
Go
as
on.
and I knew it during then, but I
No,
don't remember.
don't.
you're
I'm
right.
sure if I hear it,
Don't
I'll
set
sing.
yourself up in
The
front of
ranch
these
song. The song. I don't know if that's Epona's song or if I'm. No, I don't.
never
Did they
looked at
combine the two? I can't
I
remember.
was not-
Is there
I
a
was
separate song for just the ranch when you're there?
No, it's
Same.
the same.
That's what I was thinking. I was just trying.
It's the same song, but they add a lot more
Mhm.
to it as the actual ranch song.
I was neglecting my girlfriend over that song. Over that game, I should say. That was sad. She called me up. Well, I thought you were coming over. And she could hear the fucking Forest Temple music in the background. Oh, you playing that goddamn Zelda again?
That was my favorite holiday season
It was
when
so
I
good.
beat that game. Like
1998, man, best year in gaming.
98, man. It's
I
great.
put Christmas lights up in my room for the first time. I had a 32-inch JVC CRT TV N64. Yeah, it was good. Good times.
We had just started dating that year too.
What
Really?
the fuck?
It was funny.
Then at a New Year's party, I was arguing with some people about what was a better game, Metal Gear Solid or Ocarina of Time. I was the only Ocarina of Time guy. There was like three or four saying
Same.
Metal Gear. I hadn't played it at that point.
I was a little biased, but you know.
I mean, it's a
Nintendo.
good game for sure. Definitely worthy of a debate at the time. Going
I don't
back
think so.
now, I can't go back.
Listen, I love the original Metal Gear, but
Yeah, it's great, man.
it's that was a crazy time to be having some arguments over some games between the N64 and the PS1. Crazy time.
Well, I think it's crazy that same year, fucking again. I was thinking about it. Was,
Panzer Dragoon Saga come out that year too.
Next
and
year,
Half-Life 1, bro. Half-Life 1 also came out that year.
Half-Life. Oh,
That's
what a
a
year.
crazy year.
Banjo
What a time to be alive.
Kazooie, F-Zero X,
Banjo-Kazooie?
Deus
F-Zero X. Banjo Kazooie. Oh, came out on my birthday. Oh.
You came on your birthday? Gotcha.
Baldur's Gate, StarCraft,
That
Busted
too.
Roof. Yeah, it's just
Because I was looking up
Build
when I was
one
looking
now,
up dates, and then I'm writing down all these games.
Beside
You know,
Eve.
that year is stacked, man. That year is like legend, like game changing games all in one year. It's
All
crazy.
right, before we get out of here, I gotta ask Terrell a question.
What's up?
Ethel.
Oh,
Ethel. Sorry. Ethel.
she's called, yeah.
What about her?
That's the question. Ethel.
Oh,
tell me.
the question.
I'm very okay. See, you hit me in a point because she's like the first hero you get. So I've already used her in gameplay. I've done the story section she's in the beginning. It's so
Is she
good.
10 out of 10 or
What I will say to Juice, is when you get Ethel's ability, get Uni suited up. Get Uni suited up.
Oh, it's over.
Ethel shit.
It's over.
Fuck Ethel.
It's over. It's
Damn.
over. It's over.
Damn.
It's over. I promise
That's
you. He's right. He's fucking. I almost forgot. He's absolutely. It's over. And you know what bothers me? Because, Blocky, you've already seen some of the cutscenes in Chapter 4, so you already know there's more Ethel to come. But we don't. I can't say nothing else because I don't know how much more. But it's Ethel is a she comes back around. It's like she hits you on that first round.
I've done it, man. I've done it, and my balls are tingling. I tell you what, every chapter at the end of every chapter, right? At the end of every fucking chapter, or not even at the end of every chapter, some of those boss fights and some of the moments are just some of the most epic shit that I've just experienced in fucking ages, especially with that Mobius music, man. Jesus fucking
That's
Christ.
nuts. That's nuts.
Every time I'm like,
Dude,
let's fucking go.
It's like the fucking. I don't know about you, Claudia. Chapter 3, the ending of Chapter 3, I almost lost my
I was
shit.
shook, man.
I was
shook.
no, don't fucking do this.
Yeah,
and it
I
made
was shook, man.
perfect
I was
sense. I was like, no. I'm like,
So
and I saw
fucking good.
people, and apparently I
Alright,
heard
we're
on,
gonna-
here's the
Sorry, yeah.
no, on Twitter, I heard that chapter 4 and 5 were trending, and I was like, no, y'all can't do this. So it's a whole.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. So we'll get out of here.
Jesus
See you
Christ.
next week.
Later. Shadow, get the fuck out of here.